So with FTX, etc., cash has a tendency to, to disappear somehow.
Right on.
I'm gonna give Matt the mic.
Hey, thank you,
then
man. Captain was before me, so he can go ahead.
You're fine, Matt. Go ahead, brother. No worries.
All
How
right.
you doing, Matt?
What's up, Jerry? What's up, everybody? Fafi, good to hear from you, man.
Hey.
I had a quick question for you, man, and if you could break it down for me, I'd really appreciate it. So, simple terms, man. Why can't we just put a hard cap on LUNC like there was supposed to be right now? Why can't we hard cap it at the current supply and turn the mechanism right back on? What could you explain to me and everybody in the room what would happen if we could do that?
Yes, so that's a good point. That's a good point. The mechanism itself is flawed somehow. It's flawed, and I'm not sure. So putting the hard cap aside, you have like a mechanism which is like pretty much, you can make the analogy. In fact, that's what it is. It's a DEX allowing people to swap, and then you can decompose between the swap and the burn and mint, right? So when you say like you can mint to burn and burn to mint, yeah, implicitly what you're saying is that you can swap, and whatever you're going to give is going to be burnt, and whatever you're going to receive is going to be minted, right? But that's a swap, like a swap that you will get on TerraSwap or Uniswap or whatever. So it's a bit specific. That's what it is. So if we put the mechanism back in place, right, as it is, and you put a reduction on the max supply, you need to still be sure that people are not going to play you, because it's basically, you may have like the same issues that happen that you hear of, and people drain your liquidity and all this sort of funky things, because back then TFL had the upper hand. They were like the main holders of the token, so they could control a bit the market, etc. We don't have that, so we're a bit weakened in our position of how we can animate the market, if you wish, right? So we have to be careful of what people are going to do, and make sure that they're not going to take too much of a USTC or LUNC from us at a too cheap of a price, right? The other thing is that then, to limit, actually, if you want to limit the liquidity in a way that, or if you want to limit the mechanism in a way that it doesn't, you don't end up over minting or over creating tokens, you might reduce the liquidity so much that you won't achieve much, basically. So you will turn it on, right? It will be safe, but it's kind of, maybe we're going to burn like, say, $500 or 1K per and knowing that it can also mint on the other hand. So one day we're going to burn $500, one day we're going to mint $500, and so on. So basically, the main thing that happens if you put this kind of restriction without doing nothing is that basically nothing is going to happen.
Okay, so it was my understanding that L1 was supposed to run test environments to kind of simulate that hard cap. Did you receive any information from them about that, or do you have any updates on that?
No, I haven't, to be honest. I haven't. I spoke briefly with. I spoke to Vin. It was 2 weeks ago, I think, or before like the Terra Rebel situation happened and all right. So I think it's not completely clear what they're actually working on, or what's the priority, if they have started the testing. I think, or last I've heard, Matt, is that they were working on Astroport to solve this situation. And it feels that they're still focused on that. But I haven't really heard much in terms of like testing or market module at this point.
All right, well, cool, man. I appreciate the update, man. I'll have to get with Ben and see what's going on, because I want to see I'd like to see him publish the findings from that test environment, man, so we can kind of get a better idea of what we're working with. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. And you're right. Yes, absolutely. I mean, data is always the key. So, we start looking at stuff and we see how it goes and where it goes, and that's how we make the best decision. So absolutely. And as I said, I think it's been a bit of things moving around, etc. lately. So hopefully he's gonna give us a share an update like soon, or potentially I've seen that potentially he was doing a NAMA, a space with Rocco and LL61 69 sorry soon, to give us a bit more update and clarity and let us know. But certainly if we get some results, etc., if we can help or review or whatever, like, we're happy to do that.
I'm gonna have Capitan, and then probably since HCC joined the space, it's after Capitan.
Ooh.
Yep. Cheers, Happy.
Hello, everybody. So, Fafi, I have a question regarding like the 200 million USTC. Since they were supposed to just be like custodians of that amount, and they have, in some ways we could argue that they have misappropriated those funds. Could we as a community start a class action lawsuit for them to pretty much buy back those, 200 million they sold at, market rate?
Yes, I guess so. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, to be honest. And I'm not these questions. I'm more like I'm more on the quant dev side. So I'm gonna be better with anything to do with modeling, etc. I'm just talking as a random guy here, and I have frankly no expertise whatsoever here. So maybe if someone knows better, that's gonna help you more. But indeed, I think we can. We can say that these are ours, and you can potentially think of doing something about it, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to hate Twitter. I don't know why everyone is muted.
Oh, yeah.
Is it okay
Yes.
now?
Yes. All right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's better. I think we had the issue, a similar issue with HSC yesterday. But um, to go back to what I was saying is that, yeah. Okay. So basically, it's like, yes, you can certainly do that. Again, we need to get proper advices, etc. All right. So, but the thing is that ideally they still have the money, and that's great for us. The worst case which can happen is that they don't, and you get fucked, right? So then it's like, do we want to go down this road? How do we get organized? How do we pay for the fee for like the lawyers? Can we get someone to work on commission? All this stuff, etc. Yeah, I haven't. Again, I haven't. That's more Alex who is following this up than me. And but yeah, there's certainly some things to do, and that's why it's super important to be super transparent in these things, right? So we have like Vegas telling us like, yeah, I'm speaking to the guy, blah blah blah, etc. It's not very clear, it's vague, you don't know where they're at. It's important to remember these are our funds. We're not asking a favor. We're not asking to a protocol to help us or do something for us. That's not how it is. And yes, I guess the community need to think of all possible actions and outcomes, and try to do the thing that works out for them.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think you answered my question pretty good. We can get to HCC.
Hello everyone, thanks for having me up in this space. I've only really got one question for Fafi. With the developing situation,
HCC, you have
what
a problem.
happened? Why does everyone keep getting cut off?
Yeah,
Happy
I
was
don't
cut.
know.
They're so weird. Yeah, I thought it was a personal thing yesterday, but clearly it's not. So I take back the personal thoughts. But
you truly thought he was?
Yeah, I thought someone was muting my mic yesterday. It's happening again. I thought someone was muting my mic yesterday. You have to stay.
No, man, I wasn't muting you, man.
What the
That's
heck?
like kindergarten.
All right,
I would never do such a thing.
I'll try.
That's stupid.
I'll try get this out as quick as possible. With the developing situation with Fireblocks currently, we're at risk of being delisted on a lot of exchanges. They're going to be utilizing Fireblocks as a custody solution or other services. Is that not going to be an issue, with everything that's going on? Because what they're actually saying is, in their official response, is that it's high risk of loss of funds. There's overall instability, and it's all come around the same time as that proposal going up saying about doing a forceful taking. So now I'm worrying myself and thinking, you know, is this actually leading to more than we believe outside external forces? But I just want to get
You're psyoping yourself, HTC. Listen, I'm extremely pissed about the situation with Fireblocks. We don't talk enough about it. I'm extremely pissed. I'm extremely pissed. Why? Because frankly, I've been working like countless hours, countless. Even when you're not happy, as she said, you make videos about us. I've been working like hours, and I think we're getting into a path. Frankly, I'm super happy because community is getting together and we're getting like some extremely solid and good results. And I think we can do some very good thing. And yesterday, I woke up to this frankly shit news. Now, if we just read, if we don't trip, and if we don't make things up, if we just stick to the facts they're telling you, we've been observing for the past 6 months, and people making proposal back and forward is not good. We're sick of it and we want to leave. That's literally what they're telling you, HCC. That's literally like they have written it black on white. At some point, we need to listen, or at least to get the message. Because if you start thinking about, hey, maybe like is like, oh, these guys they've put a proposal, but their fault. No, they have written the reasons, and the reasons is that when you look at the clusterfuck that we get sometimes in governance for things, right? So when you go, for example, what happened, we're going to make a wallet, and boom, you end up with Terra Rebels back into L1. These people, they tell you they've been watching for 6 months. They say, wait a minute, these guys, they took 150K 6 months ago, they did nothing, and now a guy put a proposal and bring them back up as the L1 developers. We don't want to be involved with them. And there is a high risk of loss of money, obviously. Because because these guys, they used to do this before, they will do the same. They will tell you, give us like whatever you throw there, you're gonna have like 100K or 2 millions or whatever. They're gonna tell you, yeah, don't worry, we're gonna do that, but they're not gonna do that. They have done it in the past, they're gonna do it again. That's just how it works. So that's a very concerning problem, HCC, and is a very good point to raise. And that's a very, very, very important point that we should be worried about now. I've asked someone actually to get in touch with them if he can and try to get us some information and see where we are at and see if Binance is using them and see if we can get in touch with them and potentially beg them a little bit to get them to stay or to do something, right? That's where we're at. And we should try to do that as much as we can. But it's also important to understand that I can see why they're doing it because, for example, this is a very good example. You have like a team of specialists for USTC, Quant, etc. We are more than happy to help. And then you have Vegas, who decides single-handedly to go and put a proposal for things that he hasn't fully thought of. And, that's always the same story.
Yeah, so if just for people listening who don't actually understand what this actually means is Fireblocks is more or less going to work with CEXs to get us delisted, and they'll compensate those who more or less will be getting compensated during the delisting. My biggest thing right now is the official response from them is that there is a high risk of loss of funds and overall instability, bad decision making, and centralization. It's so scary to see that, Binance has punished us once for reminting coins, and now this is specifically to do with Binance. And, we shouldn't think to ourselves or think that we can go against CEXs or beg and plead to them, because at the end of the day, they're external forces that we don't control via proposals. We shouldn't put ourselves at any further risk of getting delisted or having to go back through the routes of relisting. It's not an easy thing. We don't even have a stewardship to start with. So I think this is real cause for concern for the LUNC community moving forward, and everybody should take note of it. And it definitely is into correlation with this decision making of simply deciding, right, we'll take retail coins because this is retail. CEXs are retail. People like Fireblocks deal with retail. So, this is all...
No, they don't, sorry. Just to make... wait. I think, and again, I think that's one of the problems we have And sorry to cut you, maybe I'll let you finish, HTC, finish. So Fireblocks is like the institutional by definition. They're literally, you won't use Fireblocks yourself as their offer is for like institutionals, right? And so they like custody the funds of institutionals, and you're making it, and I'm saying it and in a nice way because you're here and I don't have anything bad about you, etc. You're using your voice, and an event that you're not sure that it's related, right, to spin the narrative that this proposal is what led to Fireblocks delisting us, while similarly or simultaneously Fireblocks is telling you we're sick of this shit show, sorry, right? So you've turned this
Listen to this
into
guy
this
telling me
proposal is
this
the
doesn't
reason,
involve
and
retail.
like I think at the very least you need to DIR or do some
Banks,
more research,
FMIs,
and you can
neobanks,
confirm that.
exchanges.
And once
Looks
it's
like retail to
confirmed,
me.
that's what you should do basically. Once it's
What?
confirmed, you come back to us and you say, hey guys, you
Trusted
have
by
fucked up here, this
1,800
proposal,
members of
like,
world
it's
leading
been confirmed that
organizations.
people,
Nah, it's
etc.
probably nothing to worry about.
What you're doing.
So just whilst I'm getting back into this space, did everybody, trusted by over 1,800 of the world's leading organizations, and Fafi says it's not retail, it's nothing to do with retail. I think, let me get back in a speaker.
And we just need to get our shit together, right?
Definitely.
That's right. I mean,
Head of ass.
I mean, literally, and again, I don't mean bad, etc. But again, like this was a good example of it. So, like, we can't do that, and I'm trying to find out right now. So I've asked. Obviously, we're talking to some sex. Not gonna put names, etc. I've asked to someone if he can help us to get us a bit more information about it. For example, is one of the sects that we like very much around here, are they using them? Are we at risk of being delisted? And if they have, like, potentially, if they can help us get in touch or talk to them to see what's going on exactly. First thing you do is you try to get information so that we can have all the information, and then we can think of what we can do to fix or better the situation. If we basically jump to conclusions, that's not good.
Yeah, firstly, before El Capitan can give his question or anything he can say, I would love everybody to cooperate. Or I've even written to ACC in his tweets that if there is any possibility, because I am a subscriber to him, I'm a follower to him, and I really do like the guy. And if there is any possibility that anybody can share a seat or table, can share a table and talk things out, it would be for the benefit of everybody. Even giving second chances would be amazing. If they fuck up for a second time, then there's nobody to blame than themselves, and everybody should just go on. But I think everybody's entitled to have a second chance in his life, at least.
I agree. I'm just gonna jump in this very quickly, and then I leave it to Capitan. I 1000% agree with you, Goku. Now, if you want a second chance, the best way to get it is not to, like, make a deal with Vin without going through governance. Like, if you see this, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, literally, you know what I mean? Like, and again, that's why I'm saying, like, HTC, yes, what like the point that we said previously, etc. Fair enough. On the other hand, I know he's upset about that, and he's rightly upset.
Oh my god,
right? He's right to be upset.
He's upset.
Like,
he's
if you want
upset.
to come back,
He's upset. I'm
it's
not
nice.
upset.
It's very simple.
God damn,
Put
Grandma.
a proposal. Hey guys, we're Hexagon. Maybe we fucked up in the
Oh,
past.
Fireblocks is retail. Just
and
admit
we'd like
it.
to come up with a wallet, or even talk to
God damn.
HTC himself, who is the author of the proposal, and then disclose the deal, and then we can vote. And then some people are going to vote yes, and then people are going to vote no. If you don't disclose the deal, which has been inked on the 23rd, while the proposal was still up, if you don't disclose it, it's because you know that people are going to vote no. And you're manipulating the vote to get what you want. And when it starts like this, usually you don't want to redeem yourself. But that's just me.
Bro, your time.
Thank you. Custody solution was used at the time at least. So maybe for Binance, we don't necessarily have to be so worried, but it would be nice if, the few people within the community that have a good reach and a good reputation to potentially reach out to those exchanges and get like, a list of who potentially would delist us and who is, supporting us despite whatever is
That only
happening.
1,800 companies potentially. It's not
One thing I
much.
can do on our end, just to make sure, because that was a good call by Goku for us to work together and to get together, is that I try to find out if there is even a remote chance that is that proposal, like the 11675 that triggered this. I don't think so. I don't believe so from what we've seen so far. But I ask him to ask explicitly if he has something to do with that, or to try to get me some feedback in this regard, and so this way we can know. But we would never do something which, like, it kills me. Like, I'm super upset with that, to be honest. I'm extremely upset because it jeopardizes all our effort, especially just at this time where we're all getting together nicely and making some good progress. And I really think like some good things are going to come for us, and that's very sad, or that's very like a bad bit. We get like hit at the wrong time. So, but I will ask about it.
It's definitely an issue. If you look at their website and just look at the face of it, it's 1,800 plus trusted companies. You're talking companies like Revolut, eToro, all of those kind of places. That is a lot of retail. I mean, that's a whole lot of retail. We can't risk losing that,
That's
at
right.
all costs.
That's right.
So you
Absolutely.
agree Fireblocks is retail then?
No, Fireblocks is for institutional. I used to work for their competitor. So they basically they do so they will so if you have a hedge fund or a fund or an investment company who is basically investing into crypto, they're going to use their service. We have, like, I used to work for their competitor, and we had like a shitload. Most of our clients were not exchanges; they were just like literally asset managers or any family office or like investment professionals who are actually investing in crypto and don't want to take the risk to leave their assets on the exchange, or or to have to deal with keys themselves, right? So, and as I said again, we're like number two, they're number one. You can find out, it's not very hard to find who this company is. So I kind of have an idea of the business behind. Now, exchanges are using it as well. Depends where, depends how. It's not like, as you said, like Binance has listed Luna before and they got listed. Luna got listed as well before they got like supported by Fire Block. But again, I'm gonna go back to it. HCC. What this company does, because I used to work for their competitor, it means that they have their own blockchain, right? And that, or at least that they need to interface with the blockchain to basically custody the funds on chain for them. And they're going to use things such as like they're going to break down the private key so that it can be held by different peoples, and they're going to have like multi-sig policies, because for institutionals you have like the CTO, you have the COO, you have different like person with different responsibilities.
Why does my sound keep going? How irritating.
For example, like the parity upgrade, right? It has broken lots of things. And you see Astroport, that's what you see yourself. You can see that Astroport has been literally destroyed with this upgrade. Now, imagine what happened with Fireblock with their node. did we reach out to them when we did the upgrade? That's what you need to think of, not like a proposal. You need to think like these people, because they get super upset because that represents some work and some cost to them. So your Fireblock, you have responsibilities and all, and you come in one morning and then nothing works and you freak out because you have lots of cash, potentially lots of liabilities to pay back your customers, and the network has been upgraded. People haven't communicated to you. It's not the first time it happens. Things are not working. That makes you very upset. And it can easily like frustrate your workers. Your workers complain to you. And then you say, you know what, we might just cut the shit out of them. That's concretely the kind of things that you will see. And so that's why we are like, insisting or talking about like, when you do the upgrade, when you do these things, happen too frequently. If it's not well coordinated, etc., it might lead to these things. So you often see, yes, we focus a lot on Binance, which is great, and you often see like Binance notifying us in advance. They say like, hey, Binance is going to support the upgrade. But have you ever heard like a publication from Fireblock telling that they're going to support or they won't support? Fact is, we didn't even ask them. We don't even care if you want somehow. And I'm not putting the blame on a team or an individual, because I know it might not be easy, but that's the client that you're facing. And as a developer, like, we don't work ourselves on chain, so we don't have this problem, which I'm glad we don't, to be honest. But for anyone, and I'm not putting the blame on individuals, I'm saying us to include ourselves here, because it's not an easy task. How do you expect Vin to find Fireblocks or to even know that Fireblocks exist? That's also why we complain or we say that you need like, some OG around or things like that, etc., because people have dealt with this for overchain. They kind of know the like the constellation of all these dependencies, and so they kind of expect ahead. They say, oh, we might have an issue with this. Do we have Fireblock? Do we have a custodian? Do we need to notify a custodian, etc.? But I see more direct uh, impact or reason for them to leave because of that, because they're gonna be worried. You're not like, this company is big enough that if you touch their tokens, they're gonna sue the shit out of us. Like, they're gonna get what they want, and they're not scared about it. And they're bigger than us, not the other way around. I think personally, it really has to do with what they say. And they said it. They didn't say like, I don't think they would have been shy, to say, oh guys, you're gonna take someone's wallet or nuke a wallet. We oppose it. We're not happy, and we're gonna leave the network. They stated literally. They stated their reasons, and they said that they've been observing us for 6 months. So it's not from yesterday. It's not from like 2 weeks. They said it for 6 months. So the question is, here we are again trying to attribute this to a proposal because we want this proposal to not be voted.
Fafi, can I interrupt you for a second, brother? By any chance, do you or anybody have the actual source link to the Fireblocks announcement?
No, I've been told that I think it was with JDAX, with an exchange delisting LUNC.
Yeah, it's been made official.
JDAX.
LUNC DAO's also spoken with them as well. He was the one who raised the flag, to be quite honest. So kudos to him for raising the flag. So retail instances in Fireblocks that's currently a use case in our sector is something like Paybolt, right? MoonPay is also retail. They are a big face of retail. There's so many retail factors integrated into Fireblocks that they're more or less a finger that just stretches out into everything.
We discussed this with Ears yesterday, and what he kind of said, I trust on this. He has he knows a bit more. He said that for him, he meant more like institutionals than retails, right? So that's what he said. Then might be wrong. I think he kind of knows these things a bit. I wouldn't don't know the applications for it, the implications. We don't even know which exchange. Basically, our main exchanges are what are going to be like Binance, KuCoin, and the other one, the Mexican one, I forgot the name, Mexi. That's more or less the big exchange where we have a flow. Do we have elsewhere? Kraken, you have potentially.
I think we have KuCoin,
Sorry?
right?
Yes, KuCoin. Yeah, that's right. I said, yeah. So basically, KuCoin, Binance, and Mexi, and potentially to some extent Kraken, or more or less, I think. Is it? So
Sound's gone. It's just going to come back now, folks.
So what I'm saying is that what's the issue here, right? So let's say we drop the proposal. Do you think they're going to come back, or is going to change anything? What's the real issue? When do we actually touch to the real issue that we're having?
You can introduce a voting power cap down to 7%, try and decentralize the active state, stop making bad decisions.
That was a question for you, HTC.
No, I'm just saying these are like the sort of ways that you could mitigate that. Instead of putting a proposal up and asking them to relist, let's just not get delisted
Before
to start with.
HTC takes this time to answer you, I want to actually share this. Bear with me, guys. In 10 minutes, I might have some more information. I know this is stupid, but I'm literally right now talking to Binance's support and asking if they potentially could maybe, give us a bit more clarification on this matter. They told me, please allow me a moment to check. I'll get back to you in 10 minutes. Let's see what they come back to us with.
Fafi had possibly the need to reset, so
This is actually quite exciting. We're in a space together waiting for news. Let's see what I hope they're gonna give us good news though, because I checked on the Fireblocks website right now. When you go to which kind of protocols they pretty much integrate, Luna Classic is actually in there, but in the list of the protocols that they support currently, you don't see Luna Classic. So they could potentially, implement, I guess, Luna Classic features, but in the protocol section where they, summarize all the protocols that they do support, I don't see Luna Classic in it. So, but yeah, let's wait and see what kind of information we're gonna get. Hey, welcome back, Fafi.
So, just out of curiosity, we say bad actors, but can we say them by name? Because I don't understand specifically who we're talking about. Because
Goku, myself first, I'm a very bad actor.
No. I mean, when whoever was bringing it up was talking about it, they weren't referring to you. I don't think they're referring to
Probably.
somebody else.
Jerry's a good actor. He's really good at doing Shakespeare.
I don't know. Like,
I've been
I know the
following
thing
so
with
many
Hexagon,
different.
their proposal, their spending proposal passed. I don't, we stake with certain validators. If you guys don't like a way a validator votes, talk to them or stake with someone else. I mean, I don't, I don't know, but like, if they're getting funded, they're getting funded. So if anybody complains about it,
don't forget to smash the like button, folks. Help others find this stream.
Get it voted on. Have them not get voted on.
Well, that's kind of why I took a step back, man, because it's fucking, in my opinion, it's fucking stupid.
It's not as easy as you think, Jerry.
I mean, it might not be, but like, if people don't like the way things are going, step up, stop complaining, and do something different. Like,
well, You know what the problem is though, Jerry? Especially when it comes to the governance of Luna Classic, I feel like it's completely rigged. What the actual community wants, I don't think it always reflects to the governance. Um, because
That's
maybe
true. But you also got to think like all nodes will vote for things that the community doesn't want sometimes because they have a stake. So if the only show in town is Hexagon, they have no choice but to vote yes for it. But if you give them a choice and you talk to them, maybe they'll vote in the way the community wants to vote. I don't know. There's more to it than just I hate you, I like you, this dumb shit. Like it gets to know. That's just why I stepped away from Luna Classic for a while. But um, I don't have a strong opinion about anything. I want shit to work. I really do. I want everybody to figure it out and do something. But I have a business mind, and I do know like we can complain all day long, but if there's no solution, there's no solution, and it's because no one's coming up with a solution. So complain, 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 cry, cry, cry. But if you're not coming up with a plan B to replace plan A, keep
Die,
complaining
die,
because
die.
nothing's going to happen. And that's my position. So like I hear a lot of drama and complaints on Twitter all the time, but I see no action from the people that are complaining. And it's like, you know, like Vin, talk to Hexagon. Why? Because they're the only ones. Give them another choice. I mean, the community funded them. The community did. I didn't vote yes on them, but I mean, I don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore, to be honest. But if you guys want something else, you have to figure out another solution so we can have something else. So like maybe HappyCattyCrypto has a solution for the wallet thing. Great. If that works, it works. I mean, let's get shit moving. We spend more time complaining than we spend time trying to build. It's ridiculous.
The L1
It's been quite some
team.
time. It's been ridiculous, man. Welcome back, man. Where have you been all my life?
Hey, we got
Happy?
rugged. We need to get a shit.
Actually, I'm very happy that
God damn,
Happy
Twitter
is
Spaces are
part
terrible.
of the space.
Yeah, I could promote a few solutions. I do have 4 proposals ready to rock. I just need to get them up and get them going one by one and not flood the space. But promoting a 7% voting power cap is absolutely key right now. I think 7% is the sweet spot. It's not too little. It's not too much. We should also introduce with that a commission raising for any validator that's currently above 7%, right? That then brings them up to say 20%, forces them down over time to below 7%. And then that never ever happens again because no one would ever get above 7% again. Ultimately, if we want to see the chain decentralize more, we need to take an approach like this. If people are willing to burn coins in wallets that we don't own, I'm pretty sure that we could, propose stuff like this. But I have a proposal ready. It is going to be going up soon. And it's the same with the L1 team, right? If they're not following governance, then we put a proposal up, get the community and validators to agree that this is not what we agreed to. And we have to promote the change we want to see. Like Jerry's saying, we can all bitch, moan, complain, do whatever. But if none of us don't do anything, then nothing's going to happen. And that's exactly what the big validators say back to me. Oh, all you do is moan. You don't put a proposal up. You don't promote change. You're not promoting anything. What do you expect us to vote on? If we look at what the L1 team has done since they got paid their quarter, nothing. They proposed a bug bounty system, which is absolutely useless because we don't even have our own infrastructure to utilize bug bounties on. It's one of those things. And when the chain collapses, when it's all done and we get delisted, these sorts of, they'll just move on. They'll go to another blockchain. Thor, people like that, they're all building elsewhere. We have to promote the change we want to see, honestly. Jerry, would you vote yes to something like that, capping the voting power at 7% and introducing in a smart commission that forces validators down to it?
It sounds good on the surface. I would have to analyze it, but it doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd have to.
I would go even lower, dude. I'd go like 5%, man.
I would 100% agree to cap my own voting power at 5%. It's more than enough. even if you're going with the most expensive provider currently, it's still more than enough to cover your running expenses. And if you've been in the game that long now, you should be running independently on your own, like the majority of us are, especially after the Bilbo incident.
Who wrote the proposal for the original 20%?
I have no idea, but it was snuck into a software update. It wasn't something that was just proposed and updated on its own. It was agreed, proposed, and then put into a software update, same as the 5% commission situation. That was agreed, then put into a software proposal.
No, they're just like the United States government. But hey,
I missed you, Jerry. I missed you, mate.
Sorry, HTC, I just got confirmation from my contact over at Binance that the proposal 11675 is not the cause for Fireblocks leaving the blockchain. Right? So they said we're leaving the blockchain because too much changes, too much instabilities. All I'm going to say is that think very carefully about pushing 5 proposals. What do we get from them? Is it the best timing to do them? Like, I know you want to put proposals forward and all, and that's awesome. Think very wisely what we're getting from it and try to get in touch with the big partners and get some feedback, like getting feedbacks before we actually throw proposals to kind of see like if it's going to deter them or make them run away, or if they don't care, or if they potentially support.
I'm not going to be doing anything to do with Fireblocks. I'm just merely interested in like what you thought being on the Quant team. You know, I respect what you guys are thinking. So.
I know that's the issue. Basically, I was basically complaining in a polite way. What I was saying is that I know that you don't have anything to do with Fireblocks. I'm saying that they just put a message saying that they're leaving because they've been observing for 6 months and there is too many changes to parameters of the protocol. Like, for example, the tax up and down, like voting power up and down, things like that, etc. So do we think is like the most urgent issue? What's the timing? Can we sync with L1 or these kind of things to act like kind of in a synchronized, in a smooth manner?
Well, we've conformed each and every time previously and, taken the short routes. But I honestly believe getting our own independent structure, funding ourselves, bringing our own stuff forward and standing on our own 2 legs and not ever being in a position where someone goes to us, well, if you don't pay us, you don't get the update. Oh, we're shutting your infrastructure down because you haven't paid us.
That's the thing. That's not how the game works, though, HCC. I appreciate what you're saying, and I'm all in for it. It's not how it works. You don't have exchanges, you're dead. You don't have, if you want institutional, smart money, big money to flow in LUNC, because they're the one who are going to move the price, not us. We need like Fireblocks.
I just made my 987th paper
as well. What I'm saying is that there is a reality of it's beautiful, like governance property and governance, on-chain governance, and you can just keep firing on these like proposals, right? But there is like you're not gonna raise the price of LUNC yourself. That's not you. I'm sorry. I mean, I appreciate you're doing lots of work and all, and people recognize it, and I've spoken myself to lots of people who follow you, etc. But like, it's not you. Like, there are rules. There are actors. There are things which happen, and we need to keep this in mind. And it's not about standing on your own. You stand nowhere if you don't have like a listing on Binance, for example, right? So
I think you've got me confused, Fafi. I'm not talking about Fireblocks. I haven't been speaking about them for a while now. I'm simply speaking. Me and Jerry was speaking about promoting change to improve the blockchain overall, decentralizing the voting power. I don't understand what Fireblocks has got to do with that.
Well, it has to do. That's what I'm saying, because you said that potentially like Fireblocks is withdrawing actually support because proposal 11675 or things like that, etc. They told you like black and white that it's because they've been watching for 6 months and too many change of parameters to the protocol, for example, the voting power being one of these parameters, or the tax or other things, is what actually made them leave.
Oh, I mean, did you just get this information from like the Binance support team on the app?
No, of course not.
Oh, so you've
No,
got a
no,
contact at
sorry.
Binance.
What I just said, sorry, what I just said now is what they put in their message that we also from LUNC DAO, right? What I'm telling you that it's not because of like proposal 11675 that we are leaving. This I got just confirmation right now. And like keep in mind that we potentially were supposed to be talking or not to these guys and etc. So I would say that being like a proposal, like it kind of makes sense that we would have spoken or said something. We would have heard something of at some point.
Yeah,
So
I just
I'm telling you,
linked.
it's not that.
I just linked
What they're
the
saying,
first article that's showing up on my feeds now. There are a few coming up. I've just linked it to the space. I don't know if it's showing up for everyone, but there is an article relating to all of this now as well.
yes, I'm gonna check it out. But what I'm saying is that they literally wrote black on white that one of the reasons making them leave the blockchain is the constant change in the protocol. What they mean by that is basically changing the parameters of the protocol, such as the tax, the transaction fee being another one of them, the voting power being another parameter, etc. So what I was trying to say or suggest is that do we really need this now? Is it really important? And how can we think potentially with L1, etc., to see how we can pass these things in a smooth way that it gets kind of transparent or it doesn't appear as if we have so many changes to the protocol for these people who are potentially watching the chain and may want to leave, like if they feel the same way that one big one already felt.
I mean, yeah, it's just the wording on the article's real interesting as well. It doesn't mention any of that. It just mentions about high risk of loss of funds and overall stability.
Well, yeah. I mean, duh. That's just that was that way before anything happened, if in my opinion, but because it already happened. But Happy, just my feedback for you for your proposals. I haven't read them. If you can keep them as simple as possible, so the basic, like I can read it without having to look up words in a book.
Oh, easy there, Chief. We just did like
Awesome.
the most simplest. We just did the most simplest proposal we could, right? And tried
That's the best way.
Yeah, but think about what the L1 just did. That was real obvious what we wanted. It was real obvious what was voted. Yeah, it was bent to the whim. So sometimes you have to go into detail with these things. I've explained it recently as if you're going to salt your chips, you better be explaining every step from you even breathing to salting those chips and putting the salt back down. That's where we're at, because they'll just deviate otherwise. So it's really hard to not get into depth with them. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, like, which proposal? I mean, was when LBA was around that proposal, or are we talking about a new one?
No, these are my own proposals. All of my proposals that have been.
I think he's referring to the wallet proposal, right?
Yeah, the wallet infrastructure's mine. That was me who proposed that. I've got all of the proposals written out. I'll be getting a few up. There's one up on the Commonwealth currently, and then there's 3 more to go up, but they're going to be going in order. One of them is obviously for the infrastructure for the next quarter. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff. Promote the change, right, that you want to see. Honestly, Twitter Spaces are absolutely horrendous. Get better reception with a cup and string.
But he can put up a proposal at any time.
Of course,
Faffy.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking. Sorry, you misunderstand. Well, of course,
I do.
I'm trying to say common sense or trying to step back and relax. Like the last proposal was 3 weeks ago and led to having Terra Rebels basically as our own new L1 team. Yes, you can. You can. Everyone can put a proposal there. Encourage people to put proposals. It seems that HTC in this case was not the best proposal author that we have seen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, the voting and the voice is heard, and if we need to talk to certain if Happy has to talk to certain validators to get support and does what he does, like people got to realize when you put up a proposal, you can't just randomly put up a proposal and expect it to pass. I mean, you have to do the groundwork. I did it once and I'm never going to do it again. I'm never going to do it ever again. I did it once and I tell you what, I put a lot of hours in and it didn't pass. So not that I'm saying, oh, I failed, I'm going to quit, but the amount of time I put into it for the results that were given, not very satisfying. So like, if you guys want to fight that fight, stop fighting the fight on Twitter and do it through governance and get shit done. Find people that can do this or do that. It's not hard. I mean, I got contacts. I don't want my contacts to be working on L1 stuff. I'm focused on layer 2 type stuff for me. And I'm not beholden to just one blockchain either. So it's like, am I doing something on Luna Classic? Yes. It's taking freaking forever, unfortunately. But if you don't get it right, it's bad if you don't get it right, right? So taking time is a good thing in that instance. But it's frustrating for me just on the layer 2 side. And then now I'm starting to hear all this back and forth about USTC and everything like that. And I'm like, man, maybe Alex Forshaw was correct when he said, let's just create a new token. I don't know, man. It's maybe he was right, because that would have alleviated
Alex would love that. Create a coin he controls, take all the LUNC community with him.
Look, let's start there. HCC, what's the vision? Like, let's talk, because at the end of the day, whatever we're doing is like PNL. So like, whatever we do should pave the way to basically make LUNC Moon or USTC Moon, both of them or one of them. So besides as opposed to rolling proposal before having the vision. So which you may well have. So I would very much like for you to share with us actually what's the end game or what's the vision for us when you're starting these proposals and all.
So the end game and the vision realistically for a blockchain like ours is to lead the space in DeFi, show the decentralized community and the crypto community that we can self-regulate, we can decentralize, and we can coordinate together as a community pushing forward. We should have our own infrastructure. We should have our own wallet system. We should have our own finder. We should have on-ramps, off-ramps. The final vision in my head right now is, getting that market module back together, getting USTC to a point where it needs a peg, it needs maintaining, start burning through the LUNC supply and get back into retail, become the center point of the cosmos again, have every single blockchain in the cosmos sending their liquidity over to us to utilize our stable asset. Okay, we are the enemy of Luna. Okay, what's the vision? Destroy Luna. Become what Luna was supposed to be. It's pretty simple.
We want to make PNL. There is no we have competitors, Luna being one of them. There is Say, which is coming. There is Injective. There is there is DYDX, which is on Cosmos as well. These are like some harsh competitors. Osmosis is not doing bad as well, by the way. A bit smaller, but doing pretty good. I like their products. Back to there's let's stop about
if you're wondering why I had Fafi blocked, is because Fafi also messages a million miles per hour.
I'm a DeFi guy.
It gets insane.
I like to now unroll a bit more and go there. Yes, of course, I would love to have all the liquidity we can into our blockchain.
Everything that I say, he will have something to say back. You can't just be like, yeah, actually, that's a really good vision.
Not use them, but us. For example,
smash that like, folks.
We want the market module. What is it going to achieve? How? And why? Let's not we have no room for maybe this is let's do this is gonna work out, etc. Let's plan ahead. So, and when I say I'm challenging in a positive way between us. So if we don't come up to something between us that says, oh yeah, that's crack on, it's gonna work out, etc. We're never gonna convince people outside. So putting there is no such a thing as enemies. There are people who are better or worse product than us. Right? There is no such a thing as enemies, friends, whatever, etc. And to be honest, if you want to go down the DeFi path, you should be extremely worried about not Luna, but rather about DYDX, Injective, and say is coming extremely heavy on the Cosmos blockchain. Say is gonna be an extremely hard one to beat when it comes to DeFi. Their ex like Robinhood and all like extremely like good, and I really love their vision and all. So back to what we are saying, besides like how do you what do you emphasize into the market model? What do you think is going to do for us, and what do you think is going to be the killer product that is going to make all this liquidity flow to our blockchain?
Well, you're pretty much just baiting me into pretty much saying you're going to be the team to do it all. So if that's what you're looking for me to say, I will say
Absolutely
that to you.
not. I couldn't care less. Frankly, I get like if I want, I get a much better job in like a
the
big institution than
Faffy,
I'm not position myself.
I can't talk if you're going to talk over me, bud.
Yeah, but please don't do this thing.
I've explained many.
I do not.
For fuck's sake!
I never said. Listen to me, HTC, and I'll let you talk. I never said anything bad or implied anything bad about you being a bad person or trying to control the network or whatever. Just let's not make assumption, please. And then
who's
go ahead
made an assumption? Mate, I feel like you've got a guilty conscience or something. You keep like bringing up all like sorts of like weird random stuff. You asked me about the market module, and then you're bringing up all sorts of other stuff, and you're asking me about the vision, and then you're like, oh, you know, but I'm not slating you off. You know, things okay, mate.
All right, so no, I was just saying because you say you I feel like you want to tell me that it's your team which is gonna do it all, so I answer that.
What, me?
Please go ahead.
I'm happy with no control, no power, no money, no payouts, and I'm happy just continuing to build my own NFT project that's backfed into this blockchain. The treasury's held on this blockchain, you know, that's like my side interest. Other than that, my best interest is this blockchain. Everybody knows getting the market module back to the way it was is simply utilizing what was there before, what was turned off before. No one's realistically recreating a system or making it again. You're just copying what was already there and what's already done. Thus the incremental repeg, thus the need to burn coins, thus you being able to mint later on. So if we go down byte to crunch, you know, there's a lot more depth to it. So you can try and bait me into all of the stuff you like, but yeah.
No, I'm not baiting you. So everyone knows that the right thing to do is the market module. Sorry, I don't know. For me, as far as I know, it's something which crashed terribly. So why?
Yeah, because of Anchor
this
protocol.
Is the right thing? No. But why is it? Why do you think that this is the thing that we need to bring back on?
Well, it wasn't at first, and I would have been the first to disagree the whole way through. And Jerry would back me up on this. That I was always against a USTC repeg. It's only now that a team's in place, you've got to utilize what's around you. So I guess the best route for LUNC right now is to repeg USTC, get it to a stage where we can either maintain the peg, bring the peg up, bring the peg down, whatever, create an arbitrage opportunity that was there before, and create the ultimate burn mechanic, which was there before. Ultimately, once you get the market module to where it needs to be, you get the supply stable with both LUNC and USTC, you never burn anything anyway. You burn one from one and add one to the other. Oh, you take one from that, you add one to the other. It's a pretty simple mechanism. It's not highly intelligent. It's not rocket science.
Work. And again, you haven't asked a simple question. Why do you think why do you think that's what we should reuse, and why do you think it should work? A simple question. I'm very happy to hear like someone telling me, if you don't know, you can say you don't know, but saying everyone knows that this is the way to go. I'm sorry, I don't. Please enlighten me.
Jerry, have I not just explained this all to him?
Repeg USTC is different from the market module. Market module is just a market maker. Is like that's, you know, Binance is the exchange, and then on the exchange you have Binance as a market maker. You have other market makers. For example, you have Wintermute, and you have like Overname, you have GCR and all, right? So like Binance can exist without them, you know, but they do different functions. Market makers provide liquidity to the market. Right, so they provide a very specific function. So repegging USTC and having like a stable algorithm. First of all, we can choose to have like something like partially or fully backed. We can have something which is more algorithmic, and then like market making into this stable coin is different to the algorithm to peg this stable coin to a value.
Yeah, Happy, I do remember you saying that. Like, I had the same feeling about USTC and repeg as you did, because there's a lot of security reasons to not do it. I took a step back a long time ago because dealing with the politics and the back and forth and everybody's opinions becomes way too stressful at some point, at least for a guy like me. So I try to just keep my life more simple. And if a proposal passes I don't like, I just say to myself, well, that's the people voted on it. They voted yes, so I have to accept it. I move on. I don't get emotional about it anymore. And I'm to the point right now where I'm happy. I know you love decentralization. I do too. I like the idea of having a DAO or something like that where people have a voice. But the state of LUNC and all the different community leaders from different aspects on all these different factions and all that other kind of stuff. At this point, I would be so relieved emotionally anyway if we had a centralized, like, just something centralized CEO, whatever, like that. I know that's blasphemy to you, but and a lot of other people.
No, I totally agree. We need a visionary, right?
Yes, we just need somebody that says
DK was a visionary.
Points a finger at people, say, "Shut the fuck up, we're doing it this way," and we just follow and we move forward. I don't know, like, Jesus Christ, we need a leader for real.
Is to be honest, I mean, first, I think we don't, for example, like in this case, starting small without like going all the way to the leader and the CEO, starting very small. We're all here in this space, and HTC is telling us that we must basically, or we should, like the path, so the vision is reintroducing the market module and this and that, etc. And we're blocking at the first question. Why the market module? Because everyone knows, because you're not going to do the real thing, etc. For me, that's not enough. As an investor,
what is this guy even going on about?
Can we try and because that leads to deeper things, like if you want to promote change, right? It has to be based. It has to be justified. You can't, if you're about to roll. And again, I don't mind. I agree. It might not look like it, but I'm fully into governance, and whatever people pass, they pass, and that's fine. I don't like it. It's sad, but it's the way it's life. But right now, we're just before the event of putting things to governance. And I'm asking, like, and to me, and I'm gonna say it straight, actually, without like not being disrespectful or what, but like if HTC wants to start like throwing the proposal around, like for a vision, share with us the vision and let's convince us first. Maybe, like, we can have like an open discussion, but convincing us, meaning that for me right now, I haven't been convinced. When I ask about the market module, I haven't gotten an answer back. It might be wishful, or it might be like, of course, we would love that you can burn LUNC into USTC or vice versa. I would love it, right? I would absolutely love it. And we can just put a cap and it works out and we're super happy and that's fine, right? So I would really like it. But to me, from what I've looked into, it doesn't seem to be the case. Now, I might be wrong. And that's why we're here to discuss these things. But then we need facts. We need to try to have to have a more factual approach than a wishful approach. So the wishful approach, and that's not disrespectful at all, and I hope you don't take it this way, HCC, the wishful approach is like, we're going to be back to the top in DeFi, and we're going to attract all the liquidity to our blockchain from Cosmos, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be amazing. Of course I want that. Of course, absolutely. But I'm telling you, man, like, the competition is extremely harsh. Like, you have people coming with extremely heavy stuff. Uniswap is now moving to the fourth version. We have Uniswap V1, V2 as a DEX. So the market module is more or less like a Uniswap V1 kind of thing. That was made like in 2021. In 2023, Uniswap is moving to V4. Is our market module still relevant today? That's the kind of question we need to ask ourselves. The moment we start slipping into, and that's not to be taken the wrong way, meaning that you don't know, I know you should do. I'm not saying that I have the answer at all. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, the market module's to do with USTC, right?
Is a market maker into the LUNC into
Yeah, but
stable
currently the use case to achieve is from your side of things, right? To actually get to a point of utilizing that, we need you to do your job we're paying you for.
Absolutely.
Right?
I don't want.
Okay, so
we
stop
have to
back. So
redesign
stop.
it.
Hang on.
Our
So
job.
Fafi. So stop
Wait.
going round in circles and keep saying the same thing over and over.
No,
It's boring.
Let me finish, please. Our job
Happy's
is to
right.
represent.
Oh, he's
Don't be
going round
boring.
in circles, isn't he? He's literally going round in circles. He disagrees to everything I say. He doesn't respect anything, and we're paying this guy. Insane.
Module. What is it you don't understand in that? I'm not myself. I'm the quant. I'm the senior quant.
Clearly, I understand better than you because I'm answering all your questions you keep asking when you're the person we're paying to repeg this. Stop targeting me, mate. I've got the answers. I've answered it. Jesus.
So I want to know the vision, what it is. I'm telling you that we're not going to use my vision in my work.
Oh my God. Jerry's agreeing with me. If Jerry's agreeing with me, God.
Like if you're going to go ahead and lead with proposal and
it's HCC drunk whiskey. He's fired up. No, but I am vaping this evening.
Like market module is not part of it. Doesn't make sense.
Fafi, you're too nice, bro.
Sorry?
I think that if
I said you're too nice.
I think that anybody that wants to do a proposal, put a proposal up. I don't give a shit. Like that, like the talking about it for a long time didn't do me any good. Put the fucker up, see what happens.
And well, dude, having more spaces would fucking really help out. I mean, yeah, we got a little bit of argument going on in here, but at least we're hashing shit out. I mean, if someone would ask me, like, what's our most pressing fucking issue right now is to have our own infrastructure and shit instead of relying on the fucking Hexagon motherfuckers over there.
So here we go, folks. You're looking at one of my proposals for the 7% voting cap prop. This is going to be going up very shortly this week.
That would be fucking optimal.
I've got 3 more props exactly like this.
Yeah.
These guys want change. I'm bringing it. You know who to delegate with. Not all of these clowns.
They have been doing what their proposal
says.
But
dude, you fucking paying them to buy the computers to run the infrastructure that we don't fucking own.
Dude, the community keeps voting yes.
That's why I fucking walked away.
The community has to take ownership of that. If they don't like them, do something different. And places like or validators like Allnodes will keep voting yes on every single proposal that you guys don't like if there's no other solution. Like you guys, if you really want something to be different, and it's not a bad thing to maybe have them for backup. I mean, they haven't done anything bad recently from what I
did,
right? but that I know of. I don't, and I'm not going to dig into it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not going to dig
Here
into
is my proposal built ready for the counter proposal for when Terror Rebels put their funding round up. This is the counter proposal.
I mean, get with Allnodes, say, hey, dude, we got a different solution now. These guys are going to do the same shit. Or maybe ask Allnodes, can you please support us during this transition? Because we're transitioning from this solution to another solution, and I know you guys can help.
I'm not even being paid, and I'm doing more work than all of these people. I clearly answered all his questions.
It's drama.
No, I mean, it's to be honest, like for example,
what job? Define it. Well, it's a job. Okay, define a job.
Spaces more often, and
it's like your kid.
Everyone,
Dad, what's the grass green?
But we all listen to everyone, and we all talk, and we hash things out. And for example, like personally, I'm like 1,000%.
Yeah, Dad, but why is it green?
Matt with this story of a wallet. Frankly, I'd rather use Terra Station or whatever. It's not that. It's that like the whole way it just came up. Like HCC tried to do something cool and nice and put a proposal to get like a wallet, which I think was a very good idea. And then these people, they hijack it and come. And again, if they wouldn't mention this while the proposal was up, is because they knew that if people knew, they would don't vote. And so just when you start a relationship like this, it cannot lead to good things. And I have nothing even like against
all of these lot talking about change. Yeah, the only person promoting it's old HCC. Oh, we've lost our sound again. I honestly thought this would be about a 10-minute live, it wouldn't go for that long. This is interesting, you get to hear somebody's character, the way that they deflect things, the way they compose themselves. And we're paying these people a lot of money, and he doesn't really understand what the market module does and what the potential
I was
is.
actually advocating for it personally.
It's basically a broker between our station and the exchanges. It gives the ability to create those arbitrage opportunities over and over and over to bring the peg up or bring the peg down back to $1.
Everything. And in exchange, you're going to get paid on a quarterly basis or whatever. That's fine. But we need to be a bit like the wrong people are fighting, if you want. And why we do that? Like him, or that like our proposal is actually causing Fireblock to move or whatever. Then some people are going to take advantage in that and basically slip in. And we saw this like constantly for the past 6 months or plus, And
I've got my mic open. I'm eating celery.
We need to do more spaces. We need to discuss and we need to coordinate or synchronize a bit more. Even though like it's a bit challenging in decentralized protocol because by nature it's decentralized, right? But it's good to kind of like this space is a good one, for example, that we come in and we get to talk and we get to like discuss, share like visions and all, and see what makes sense to do. Or to hold off if it makes sense to do so, etc. But like we're getting like ripped massively left and right from every direction, and it cannot be worse, in my opinion. It can literally not be worse, and we need to do something about it. I think.
Isn't the station is just a way to see what you already have in the blockchain? So essentially, it's a layer 2 thing.
Oh my god, my mic's open again.
Am I wrong in saying that? It's a layer 2 build,
it's just an LCD screen.
Okay.
Literally, it's like plugging your PlayStation into a TV.
Create a wallet without a proposal.
Yeah, I created Penguin Station. It took me all of 2 minutes.
Well, if he wants to get some funding, then yeah, he'll have to go through that. But
you have to go through
anybody can create a wallet, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know, like if the community really wants to avoid a lot of this worry about grifting and bad actors and all this other kind of stuff, hire a development company that can get sued. Problem solved.
That's true. I mean, and it might not even solve the problem at all, but it might help because you have
teams without vested interests. That's what we need.
Sorry?
Teams without vested interests. Ones that have been on the blockchain for a long time and have built out their own infras. It's just, we're never going to get anywhere as a blockchain if we keep letting people privatize things.
Yeah.
You're the only team, Fafi, that's doing their job currently.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're more than welcome, friend.
But I appreciate that very much, HTC. What I was saying basically is that we try to also bring these standards of transparency.
Till they're not doing their job. That's when I come for you.
To me, it's very important to talk to people.
I'm drinking a 7-Up. What's everybody else drinking? Let me know.
Involve them. And for example, it doesn't matter. There is no such a thing as is complicated. I can't explain to you. It doesn't exist, right? Of course, you don't have to go the details are extremely complex. Yes, but frankly, anything that we do or that anyone does around should be able to explain to you in a space with layman's terms that it makes sense to you and that you will decide to agree or not to it. And if you don't want to do that or you can't be bothered doing that, you should go and work in a place where you don't have to face a community or people, etc. Because at the end of the day, they're making us or making the builders. So we should basically, keep that in mind and work for them, basically. HTC, when we are saying, for example,
dodgy git, you naughty boy.
We want to get more transparency or we ask more updates. It was not because
green tea, let's go, punk IPA,
to hit or hurt people, etc. It's because it's very important at the moment. And again,
anybody drinking whiskey?
It's funny, but Vin, I got him on the phone before this deal went through. He seems like a cool guy and all, and we've had a good talk and all, etc. So that was cool. But then, now, we don't really know, and I don't see it. It doesn't mean, when I say that, it doesn't mean he's doing something bad. I'm saying we don't know what they're up to. It doesn't mean they're doing something bad. It just means what it is. We don't know what they're up to, and we'd like to know as a community, for example, And often, for example, if I'm going to go and do that, you hear me, I haven't said nothing about it because I just can't be bothered with all the drama a bit, like Jerry was saying. But if I go and I say, hey, bro, by the way, we don't know what you're up to, can you please like update us or things like that? And then it can quickly escalate into, oh, you want to take over their team, or you're not happy, or this or that or whatever. And that actually hinders the progress or the things that we should be focused on, right? So we want certain sets of standards. Having like team with vested token, why not? That's a good idea. Having like very close or very transparent processes is another thing, is extremely important, because even sometimes when you don't mean it, you may do bad things. So it's important to be able to catch up, to catch the problems very early in the process. Even us, what we're doing, for example, if we start looking at things that we shouldn't be looking at, if we do a weekly update, you're going to catch it next week. And then next week you can come to me and say, hey, what you're doing here looks like is not what is in the prop. Please go back to what you are doing, right? So it's very important. We need to get into that habit, right? So other thing is that typically, like, your proposal was hijacked. That was nice thing, to put forward and all. And then we have to be very careful how we make the proposal and make them in a way that there is no room for something not expected happening. And it's all, I mean, to me personally, like, for example, with this situation, I'm extremely upset with the situation of the Terra Rebel with L1. I'm happy to give people a second chance. By the way, I've spoken to these guys for a long time. I mean, I know them, etc. So I don't have a problem with them myself. You might have some people here might have a bigger problem than me with them. What I dislike, however, is the fact that they knew what was going to happen before the proposal got voted, and they would not disclose it to us. If they wouldn't do that, it means that themselves, they knew that they were doing something bad, if that makes sense. So I think we really need, like, spaces help a lot, and we need to be very careful also about the message that we send, uh, to not create confusion. For example, that's what Vegas did to me. Like, I think, in my opinion, what he did, like, with the proposal with the USTC recently, is, personally, I've lost count. I don't even know where we're at. We had like 10 proposals, boom, boom, not the good proposal. Vote for this one is the good one. And at some point, you've created so much confusion that then you can pretty much get voted everything you want. So you're basically like a DDoS attacking the blockchain, right? The governance, right? So got to be careful about these things, and we need to think, and we need to establish like a long-term plan and try to talk to each other. Of course, I think it's good to have like multiple factions with multiple leaders. I think it's pretty good because it keeps like the balance of power.
Oh, Faffy, that's what we got right now.
Sorry?
That's what we got right now, man.
But it's good.
It's
I like it personally. I like it very much.
Oh my God. Like,
by the way, we call like
I just want shit to get done. I don't give a fuck who does it. Just whoever the movers and shakers are, figure this shit out and fucking get it done. Like, we want this shit to like work. Like, if it's happy, it's happy. If it's somebody, I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care if it's Hexagon. I don't care if it's L1. I don't give a shit. Most of us don't give a shit. We just want to see our backs go up. All this back and forth,
right.
blah blah blah, is annoying. We're all sick of it. I know I don't speak on behalf of the community, but I guarantee there's a lot of the community that's sick of it. And we just want shit to work. And the people on the sideline that we don't trust, the grifters or whoever we point the finger at next. I honestly think some people are pointing fingers at people that don't deserve it sometimes, but it's like this shit is never going to get the attention of people that aren't already involved in it, aren't already holding the bag, until we start moving forward and we have a vision, like Happy said. There's got to be a vision. But it almost, like, to me, I'm looking on the outside now because I'm not in the mix of it. I'm like outside looking in now as just an investor, because that's all I am. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, Jesus, man, why can't we just have one vision and we can all just move in one direction? And if we have to work with this guy or that guy or this team or that team, we have to do it because the community voted them to get funded. So they're the ones that are doing it. So we're going to work with them so that we can get this one thing done. And if the community wants somebody else to do it, okay, fine, let's do it with somebody else. It doesn't matter to me. None of that matters. I just, this whole, it almost seems like all these different factions are trying to get their own guys in all the time. And like you said, everyone can build and exist on the blockchain. It doesn't need to be just one team or this and that. And if it's layer 2 stuff, it doesn't necessarily need to be at all. Like, there's no reason unless I'm asking for funding, which I'm not. So there's nothing there for me to be funded right now, as far as I know. Nothing for any layer 2, which makes us completely uncompetitive with other blockchains. But it is what it is. So I guess if I would have one singular vision, I'll finish real quick. If I have one singular vision, if we can just get it to where it needs to be, I don't care who is working on it. I don't care who's doing it, as long as we do it. And the personal attacks on this person, the doxing and all this other kind of stuff, why are people doing that? Like I mean, I was involved with a team that was investigating the blockchain at one point. That's a fact. I discovered a lot of personal information on a lot of people involved in the community. Didn't release a fucking thing because it's wrong. And I'm not going to do it. And guess what? I forgot most of that information because I don't give a shit. So at the end of the day, I think some of the behavior is very heinous, especially the doxing children crap. That was just like, why? You don't like the guy, so let's fricking put his children on blast? I mean, my fucking God. I can't even imagine how I would feel if you guys did that shit to me. I might actually try to find out who did it. I don't know. I don't get it. It's weird. It's really weird. You guys don't like a person that much. And it's not you guys. I don't know who fucking did it. I mean, we can all assume who it was, but we really don't know. But it's frustrating. And I got to the point, Happy and Matt and Captain, and I'm frustrated to the point where I just want to see LUNC, revive. At this point, I don't give a fuck if the guy I hate accomplishes it. I don't care. I don't care who it is.
Yes, but Jerry, that's not how it works though. Like, I want to see LUNC revived is like it requires certain things, for example, to speak at of a same voice to some extent, or to kind of talk. I mean, it requires some steps. I agree with you, and I think that's all what we want. And I agree with you, same thing. Like, I couldn't be bothered. Like, if you tell me, like, I know you're gonna make it in 3 months, boom, just go do the job, bam, I'm gonna benefit anyway, and that's awesome, right? So, but that's not how it is. And like, it's gonna be like, yes, we have multiple factions, we have multiple units of, like, people. Personally, I think it's not a bad system, uh, but then you need to have some sort of synchronization, or at least some sort of like common talk, or some sort of like discussion or synchronization. At some point you must have a synchronization, like even in the blockchain, which is decentralized, at some point it has to synchronize. So,
but I mean, these conversations aren't technical. They're not solution-based conversations. They're politically motivated conversations. It's all about politics.
No, yeah,
and that's
no,
the problem
not,
with LUNC. It's the politics.
Sorry, yes, absolutely. That's what I was trying to get to. Absolutely, I'm not saying like we shouldn't. When I say we should talk together, etc., it doesn't mean we should make deals together, etc., to get power. I'm saying, like, for example, it seems to me that the starting point is like, what's our vision? Where do we want to go? And some guys, you have some factions which are more heavy on the gaming, some factions are more heavy on the NFT, some factions are more heavy on the DeFi, right? So if, and that's not political, it's like how can we kind of make it work out
Well,
for
Fafi, those
everyone?
factions all get along with each other. The factions that you really mean to be pointing out, maybe you don't want to point them out, are the ones that don't want Luna Classic to be successful for whatever reason. Maybe it's because of 2.0. You talk about the people that want Luna Classic to be successful, and then you got the different people that want to grift on what's left. So it's like three different categories, right?
Yes, but for example, like if you take, so I was thinking, for example, like people more heavy on NFT, that will be you. I think you're quite heavy
Yes.
on NFT,
Fafi will
maybe,
always.
or even like
Oh, no.
Pinguino. We
Well,
can
I'm
like
on the
the
NFT
Pinguino
side. I get
section
along with
faction.
the gamers, man.
Let
All
me
right,
let me
okay.
rewrite
I
everything
get
you
along
just
with
said.
all developers on layer
Oh,
2.
you've got
We have
Jerry
no
angry
beef
now.
with anybody on that's doing layer 2. There's nobody fighting each other on layer 2. It's
That's
all
right.
layer 1 stuff.
That's right. So, like, let's make it the same in layer one. And so, basically, what I was saying is that, for example, like HTC, myself, we're into DeFi, which is great. Some others might be more into gaming. I spoke to some guys who are more like working into gaming projects, etc. It's fine too. Let's work together and try to see how, like, it might not even interact, right? So, if you have like a DEX or you're more DeFi, but you can still have games next to it. You have also Alliance module. That's something which allows to have like a chain on the side, but it's still like allied to you, so they can do whatever they want, but you still benefit from them and they benefit from you. So what I'm saying is that I think we really need to. It's okay to have factions that don't fall under like the different groups of people who have their own ways and all, right? But I think they can also, like countries, basically, right? It doesn't mean they have to go at war or oppose each other. They can find good compromises, or they can find like good grounds for all of them to prosper and be happy. You know, it doesn't mean, because it's not because there are factions in the, and I'm not even talking here in level one or whatever. I'm talking more like in terms of in the community. You can see different people follow different influencers, different people follow different over people, different people follow over interest, etc. And yes, you can categorize as a grifter, non-grifter and all as well. That's true. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to talk to each other, and we need to be careful as well of the influence of our voice, and like, like what we can that we can create, like we can make it hard for people to talk depending on the kind of message that we voice and all. But overall, I think it's extremely important that we start thinking on some sort of roadmap or vision for everyone who wants to participate or doesn't want to participate, whatever they want, but to try to come up with something like, where do we want to go? Because right now, what we've been doing, to be honest, is for 1 year is doing upgrade, 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 no vision. Of course, the people doing upgrades are happy because they want this to keep going forever. But it's like, you can't be an upgrade blockchain, right? You can't expect people to invest like new money to come in. And what you're gonna do, guys, we're gonna do upgrades. No, that's not how it works. Or we're gonna be working on this. No. And I think, for example, like we push back a bit. I was part of it myself with LBA. For the record, I have actually nothing against him. I don't, and like it's very hard. I think I don't think there are many people or any people that I hate or whatever, because that's not the kind of relationship that we have. It's not a personal life relationship. It's like a work or like investment, a kind of relationship. So it's more based on the pragmatism or the rational than on the emotional. But what I'm trying to say is that basically, like the plan, and we've had this like few at least in my opinion, few quarters. So L1 comes and there is no plan, there's nothing. It's like, we're gonna upgrade this and upgrade that. Yes, I know that you want to upgrade things and keep yourself busy, but give us a little bit more than that. What do you want to do actually? Where do you want to go? How do you envision us? How do you see us making a profit or going up? what's the deal, what's the idea, right? And so you may not have it, and it's fine to say I don't have it yet, but in the meantime we need to keep working, because if we leave, then people are going to go and do some other jobs, etc. That's also understanding, in my opinion. We can have like that level of honesty and transparency between us, but it's important to kind of start now. It's been 1 year, and we don't know who we want to be. We don't have that identity yet, and it's all cluttered or like hidden behind all the fights and the fights for powers and things like that. We need to, like, Terra Rebels is trying to convince you that if you don't have their wallet, you're gonna die. That's not true, So we need to have a little bit more than that when we go to governance or regarding what we
Right.
actually want
That's
to do.
true, but like if we want another option, we can have another option. Like that's the thing. I was like, if somebody doesn't want to use that, well, I've used their wallet. It works. It's all it is a protocol that reads what you already got on the blockchain. It doesn't siphon money away from you or anything. It's just the same thing as TerraStation. They're doing what they said they were going to do in their proposal. Now, I can say bad things about them too. I'm not going to, because what's the fucking point, right? But because there's a past there that people were rubbed the wrong way about. But these proposals, these spending proposals, the community is passing them. So if people don't like what they see, they either have to actively participate in the governance, which means they have to put up their own proposals, or they have to vote differently, or they have to start having conversations with validators that are voting a certain way, find out what needs to happen on their end to make the change that they want to see change. It's not this. Typically, the fighting and the drama is started by people that have, like, I don't know, 100 followers, and then all of a sudden, everybody in Luna Classic is going back and forth over something, and I'm like, why did you even pay attention to that? Like,
Yes,
it's ridiculous.
Just briefly, and then I give the mic to HCC very briefly. I feel also that you're trying to exclude, like, the reality, in the sense that it's not a proposal like get more active into the governance won't change in the case of HCC.
I'm not talking about the community at large, Fafi. I'm talking about the people that are starting the drama. If they don't like what they see, then actively do something different. Don't just cause drama.
But
come up with a solution. Because if you don't have a solution, you're a part of the fucking problem. That's all I got to say.
So I think I can meet you both in the middle here, right? Because I get what both of you are saying. Now, if I was to elaborate a little bit deeper on my plans currently as to these proposals going up, what I actually believe is we need a core system. We don't have that system. We consistently build on a sandcastle. That sandcastle gets washed out from underneath us every quarter. The likelihood of the team getting replaced is very high, right? So what we actually need to do is look to sister blockchains, look around us, and take inspiration from what has happened previously. The Terra crash led to two situations arising: Expedition or Alliance and Feather. The community voted to follow the Alliance and Feather route. That is a vision, it's a process, it's a goal, it's somewhere to get to. So I totally get what Fafi's saying, and I am creating a vision proposal pretty much, which outlines what we as a community would like as a mandate for the next year, what we want out of them from the money that we pay them. But yeah, I totally agree. We need a vision, we need a long-term goal, and we need it set in stone, and it needs to be stuck to. And we need to get developers that are not going to simply just not obey governance, sign deals behind closed doors. And that's why, history teaches us so much in Luna Classic, that deals have been signed behind closed doors before, and this has all happened before. So not building on a sandcastle in the future is going to be key. Getting to the point of putting a vision forward, right, is impossible unless we've got our own station, our own finder, our own systems in general, right? And this isn't about like shutting Terra Rebels down or getting the best of Terra Rebels, or I don't historically like Terra Rebels, or I'm upset. This is about reducing the costs of our blockchain's running costs each quarter. Right, there's nothing left for L2 development. There's nothing gets done. Nothing's getting done at the moment. Things have to change. So yeah, I will be proposing a lot of the stuff going forward, and I will try put a vision plan together. And what I believe is LUNC needs like a round table. Because like Jerry's saying, right, this drama stuff, this discourse, this bickering, it doesn't happen amongst the community. You don't see people like me and Classy bickering with each other. You don't see me and Jerry bickering with each other. You know, we've had our disagreements. Me and Jerry are both man enough to admit that, you know. It's not here. This all resides in like L1 and people who are in power. Like I said, Fafi, you're the only team that's doing what they should be doing. And you get huge amounts of respect for that, mate. But
That's
yeah, a
good.
vision plan is definitely needed. Appreciate you
Thank
guys
you.
letting me speak again.
Thanks, man. Of course, of course. That's basically the roundtable we're talking about is happening now. One thing I would like to say is that transparency can be like
You
a
know,
pillar
am I
or
far
part of
wrong
this
here,
vision. So
folks?
what
Am
we're
I actually
asking when
doing
we ask, we
anything
want
wrong
like
whatsoever?
in
I'm
this
not
vision,
asking
it
Terror
doesn't
Rebels to
just
shut
have to be
down.
about
I'm not
product.
asking them to
It can
go. I'm
also
not
be
asking
about
them to
like
leave. I'm
we
simply
want to have
proposing
like
an
teams
alternate
who
idea.
disclose
And that
like
idea is
in great
so
transparency what they're
scary to these
doing,
people that they're going to
and
lose their
like we
paycheck.
can
Someone is
somehow
questioning
like
them. And oh my
put
God,
some
people are
standards
listening
or
to
try
this
to put some
person.
things
It's, you know,
for
we're
like when you
getting
put a
somewhere.
proposal,
We're
it
on
has
the
to be
right
clear and the
road. We're
outcome
on
has
the
to be
right road.
100%
Let's go.
deterministic. For example, like your proposal has been hijacked, and that was so people have voted, they didn't know, and that was my point I wanted to make to Jerry before. People don't know what they're voting for, so that's another case that you haven't accounted for. So you vote for something, and then poof, something else happens. I don't mind that, like how they paid each other terror rebels in the past. I don't care. Frankly, they can do whatever they want, but put it forward so people know, right? So people, like, you tell them, hey guys, we've been working like for 6 months for free. Now it's time for us to pay ourselves. We also want to do this wallet, and we're asking for a lump sum of $150,000 to pay for to cover our past cost, and then to pay for the future cost of the next quarter that we're going to be building a wallet. It really is simple. You put it this way, people know, people feel happy, or maybe they're not happy. They tell you, they vote, and then you accept the vote. But right now we're still in a situation where people make fake proposal. You had one like just now, so the proposal passed to burn the USTC from Ozone. Supposedly, like they have agreed to return the fund. That's not true, and this and that. So we need to first off, like, simple things. If we can just stop like having these things happening by doing simple things, and also like having a vision technically in terms of product and all, but also in terms of like how we want to do things. Do we want to be decentralized? Do we want to have a CEO? What do we want to do? Who do we want to be? All these things.
Well, we can still be decentralized and have a visionary. That's
Yes, of course,
I
of
mean,
course. Sorry, I
companies have
meant to
done
say.
that.
Sorry, I didn't say you can't. I was saying like, what do we want to do and who do we want to be? That's what I meant to say. Sorry, I didn't meant to say it's not compatible. I meant to say that even if someone comes like you come and you say, "Oh, I want a CEO," fair enough. You say it. If people are happy with it, the majority agree. We go down that road. Boom, easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to pass a decentralized form of management in the past with the holacracy. I would say only 10% of the community actually understood what it was about, and it obviously didn't get voted for. It got voted against. Majority voted against it. That would have set up a visionary that could. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're giving people power when you hire them for positions like that. That's true. However, the power still lies in the community through the voting process, and the ability to do everything. Now, I think people use that as a way to fire this person, fire that person, all this kind of weird stuff, right? I don't know. Like, if we really want to see it go somewhere, I think, like what Happy said, fixing certain key things about not just the infrastructure, like what Hexagon's doing, like they're doing what they're doing, right? I'm not talking about the technical infrastructure. I'm talking about the management infrastructure. And I think that's what you're referring to, right, Happy? The management infrastructure? Or were you talking about the technical side? Or are you still there?
I think it was technical. Yes, I agree.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, I think the management piece is important, because I think it would alleviate lots of things. Now, I believe in transparency,
Yeah,
like
I'm
you
still
as
here.
well.
I'm still here.
I believe in transparency as much as the next guy, because I want to know what's going on, right? However, I do know, being involved in the military, we can't tell everybody everything until we know for sure. So if somebody's doing something and they put out a message like Vin did not too long ago. Now everyone thinks he's partnered with Hexagon. I actually had a long conversation with Vin multiple times about this, and I told him my concerns as well, and other people have as well, about that whole thing. Problem is they have something to make that job easier, and they're not partnered. They're two separate entities that are funded separately. But now the L1's getting attacked, I think, because of that. I'm not sure what else. Maybe there's other things too. I'm not sure. I don't.
They share the same wallet, by the way. They're the same team. They have the same wallet.
It's the same wallet, but then
Well, it's even worse if you actually take that down
That's
and
right.
bastardize it, because ultimately now you've actually got two teams that are both being paid a development fee to work towards the same goal. So
pretty
now
sure
all we've done
Hexagon
is
wouldn't
just
be
pay them more to do less.
in this instance. Hexagon would still be providing infrastructure because that's what the proposal is, but servicing the station would now move away from them. That was my understanding of that whole thing. Now, whatever it is, I mean, obviously they have the infrastructure that supports it at the moment, and it doesn't just support their own station, it supports Terra Station as well, or any other station that pops up out of nowhere if somebody wants to create one. It's their infrastructure that right now does it. Before that, I think All Nodes helped with some of that infrastructure at some point. I believe. I might be mistaken, but I know they have the
I can
capacity.
pitch in on this. So all nodes still provide infrastructure. I've forgotten their names because they've got so many. Terra C Vita also was providing infrastructure. TFL were providing infrastructure. Terra Rebels were providing infrastructure. Thor Maximalist used to provide some endpoints. So anyone can utilize anyone's endpoints. This is actually the beauty of what we're doing, because they stand by this whole thing of, well, if we don't get paid, we'll still run the endpoints. Okay, cool. No one's asking you to leave. We're simply proposing a counter spend proposal to yours. And that's it. It's, yeah.
One thing, just one thing, sorry, HTC, and then I leave you guys alone and I just listen. One thing I would like to say, even in what you say here in the vision, so infrastructure, etc., this needs to be carefully positioned in the roadmap, because some of them are going to be cost, they're going to take money away, and some items will be like source of revenues and are going to bring money back in. So even this, I agree that we should have like an infra and be independent, etc. But then we should, so once you put all these things on the table, all these elements, and then which one do we do first, which one do we do next, this has to be carefully planned, because you have a limited amount of money available and resources, and you don't want to run out of money before you've made it to the end of the road. So even like in terms of what should be done is like, then we have the constraints of like, this is only going to be like a way to spend money and is not going to generate any money. So maybe it's not the best idea to put this first. Also, what you can think is that, okay, how can we make this thing generate some revenue? So that even if we start it now, a wallet, for example, how can we perhaps like with on-ramp, off-ramp and taking a fee, maybe that makes it generates a bit of revenue. So then it's going to fund the next development, etc., etc. That's what I wanted to say. And I give the mic back to you and to Capitan and to others.
I just want to elaborate on that a little bit. So I think, Fafi, have you ever heard of Occam's razor? Occam's razor is pretty much that, one should not increase beyond the number of entities required to actually explain something. Now, this touches on what Jerry said by having simplified forms of things. I think your issue is you're thinking so far ahead and getting all this information into people's heads, and you haven't even started with the real basic stuff, moving people forward. It's good to have a plan. It's good to have a vision, right? But you don't need to go hugely over into detail, because as you reach those steps in the mandate, you're still going to need to propose them through governance anyway. So
Yes.
Occam's razor really comes into this in a nutshell.
Yeah. But
it's pronounced Occam's razor, by the way.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic. I read things backwards.
All right, but
Okay.
basically what I'm trying to say is that you know how much cash you're gonna like. That's basic planning, basically. So I agree with you. It's good to have a vision. So first of all, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? DeFi, etc. And then you're gonna have like things like, for example, Quant is more like a source of is a cost center usually, right? So hopefully we can like once we can make like a USTC repay or like USTC generate some revenue is gonna be cool. But until now, is more likely to be like a research and development is usually going to be a cost center. It's not going to bring you like any dollars in, So you need to just keep that in mind. At least it doesn't like it's just like once you put the thing on the table, which one do we do first and next, and then you can make green generates money, red takes money. Simple code, simple stuff, but try to we keep that in mind because that's a reality, and the execution is what makes the difference between like the successful blockchain and people and the non-successful ones. So even though we have the good ideas, the good roadmap, and the good people, if we run out of cash, boom, we're gone. Well, we can always remit some of the money or tokens from CZ, I guess, but it's not the preferred option, I think,
Captain, why are you raising your hand in your own space?
Well, you guys were having a pretty interesting debate, so I was just waiting for. I just want to add one thing. I believe, we all have one vision on where we want to go, but I guess we all have, a different approach to it. And I think we should be able to kind of accept that we have different approaches to the same vision. And whenever there is something to disagree about, then I think it should happen in a respectful manner. And, nobody should be blocked. I have been guilty of that myself. And lately I've unblocked everybody. And I think, the people on the speaker panel, if they got people blocked, I think it would be a good start
Now,
if
if
we could,
everybody's wondering why
start to
Fafi does
unblock each
what he
other, because
does, I
essentially we are
spent
like the
a
entry
long time of my life
of
studying
newer people
psychology,
into the
specifically
community,
human and animal
and
psychology.
it would
The
look
Dunning-Kruger
way
effect
more
is actually when
attractive for
someone
the outside
believes,
to see us as
they're more
one
competent
strong
than they are, and
community
whatever
working,
you say,
collectively
it's
towards
gonna,
the same goal, rather
yeah,
than
it's
us just always being divided
that's
and
pretty much
fighting,
what the
which
issue is here.
essentially does
Right.
nothing for us.
I'm not allowed to block anybody, but I know never have the desire, but I'm not allowed because, I do a podcast. So blocking people makes zero sense for me because of that. So my whole thing is I don't take sides, guys. I don't. Like if we get somebody on the podcast and they talk, they tell their story, and then you do with that information what you want. You can have a space on it and talk about it and about opinions. I'm going to continue to do that, and with everybody, so everybody can hear the story side of those individuals that we bring on, whoever they are. I'm not beholden just to Luna Classic. We're branching out into NFTs and things like that. Have an open NFT space coming up on Friday. Anybody that's into NFTs can come over, and we can bullshit about NFTs. All day long. Well, not all day, but for a couple hours. Probably going to have some Ethereum people over there talking to us as well, and give everybody a different side of things, and then maybe some people that are involved with NFTs some different ideas of what can happen on Luna Classic. Reason I'm bringing that up is like because Captain said, don't block anyone. If you're a leader in the community, or you want to be a leader in the community, or you're trying to do something, blocking is probably the worst thing you can do, because it sets you up for a failure down the road in public relations. And I know Fafi talked about transparency, but it's very important. When you communicate on your Twitter and you're in the L1 team, or you're whatever, L1, or you're part of the Quant team, and the Quant team is so guilty of tweeting when they probably shouldn't say a damn thing, because I've seen it enough. If you don't have something impactful to say or progress, shut up. Do yourselves a favor and just shut up. Be transparent, give us progress reports, but chiming in and allowing an opportunity for drama to occur, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And that's just anybody that wants to do a business, period. I might be shooting myself in the foot up here being a little emotional, right? But I don't care. But the thing of it is like, Happy's a really great example of this. He communicates on his YouTube channel. He's pretty careful on how he communicates on Twitter. He's an opinion type person. That's what his YouTube's all about. He follows that lane and he doesn't really go out of it. Now, if you're a person that's in the L1 team, or if you're a person in the Quant team, or you're a person, you have a different lane. You can have opinions, but if you start going against your teammates and other teams and causing all this other stuff, it probably should happen behind closed doors. And I know you guys want to be transparent, but being transparent about drama and what's in your closet and what's in other people's closet, we don't want to hear that. The community does not want to hear about that crap. We don't care if you're getting divorced. We don't care if this and that. We don't care if somebody's called you a bad name behind closed doors. We don't care about somebody's conversation on Telegram that somebody screenshotted because they want to freaking post it on Twitter. That's some child high school crap that none of us care about. So, Captain, thanks for bringing that up. That's absolutely 100%. Don't block anyone. If someone's completely super annoying, mute them. And if it's somebody that's not having a huge impact on your life, don't respond. And if the community at large agrees with them, come up with a response and make sure it's a good response, and then let it go, because constantly going back and forth and back and forth, back and forth does nothing. And like, Happy, how many times has somebody caused drama or tried to cause drama with you? Like probably a million times.
Oh, it's just normal, you know. It's just it is what it is at the end of the day. Like you're saying, I try to stay in my lane as much as I can. I don't bicker with people. I give my opinion, and I don't normally, with my NFT projects, I've worked so hard to ensure that, what I set out to do, regardless of everything else I do, the 107 people I manage in my, everyday, day-to-day job, I'm still ensuring that I'm staying in my lane, I'm doing what I should be doing. And I think that's always important. I think you're right, Jerry.
Yeah,
sorry.
and
Happy,
Faffy,
I have a
before you talk
question.
there,
Oh, sorry.
Happy's
Go
in
ahead,
a
Chuck.
unique position because he does YouTube. He's in a unique position to have more of an opinion than a lot of us. Like, I am in a position to not really have a huge opinion on anything because of the type of media that I put out. Because podcast is just about getting people's stories out there. So I can't really. Sometimes I'm guilty of it, but I can't really be opinionated because he's lucky he's got an opinionated YouTube, so he can be opinionated. I don't have that.
Sorry, I mean, just to that, like, come on, HCC. Not in a bad way, man. I actually I like you. I have nothing against you, etc. I like you, but like when you get upset with me in DM and then the next day you go and you make a video about us wasting time doing updates, weekly updates. Come on, come on, come on. We
But
all
that's
do
my
bad things.
opinion.
No, no.
That's his YouTube, bro.
That's the beauty of what
In
I
a
do, right,
friendly way.
Faffy?
But which,
Hang on, let me
no.
speak, bro.
Wait,
Let
wait,
me speak. Let me
wait.
speak.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished. So Jerry, yes, that's his YouTube, of course. But don't come to me and tell me like I stay in my line and I'm the sweetest guy ever. That's not true. We're not you, not me. Like we all have some at some point. Like everyone is a little bit somehow guilty of like this entire things, right? Perhaps me, I've made a tweet like towards L1 or whatever I shouldn't have done. I say it's not good, right? So let's but we need to also know the part we play. If we kind of pretend that things happen, but we like right now we're talking about issues in the community. At some point, I have like I speak a lot, I tweet a lot. I may have been like involved in some of these issues. HCC may have been involved in some of these issues. Like some Jerry, no, you're quiet. You're a quiet one, so that's fine.
I don't
bro.
really see
But
all your tweets, but
yes,
you might be right. I don't know, but
what I'm saying is that we need to kind of acknowledge that we may have a part of responsibility, or there might be things that we haven't done the best way. For example, like HCC arrived in this space saying like, "Hey guys, your proposal currently, that's what led Fireblocks to leave." More or less, and I don't mean that he mean it in a bad way. I don't think that he hates me. He's been being very nice and very kind, saying that we've been like the team doing the work, etc. I very much appreciate that, but I'm trying to point out that sometimes we do things that we don't realize we do, and they actually might be part of the problem as well. And us pointing them out to you doesn't mean bad in a bad way, etc. It's just like the reality, you know. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, like it was totally intentional me putting my opinion up, saying about these kind of like those things you're doing, and I can say the same about what's been put out today by the USTC team with showing this proof of what you're doing. It's all sort of like time taken away, right? So I go on the basis of my own job. If a human being stands on their phone, right? You see how I didn't dig a hole there, Jerry, by saying person or anything. I was really smart, but if that person sits on their phone for 15 minutes for say 3 times a day on average, and they do that every day, and they work for say, I don't know, 280 days out of that year, that is a lot of time. It's a lot of man hours. So, what I say is more constructive criticism, but at the same time, it's my channel and I'm allowed to be a little bit more opinionated than everybody else because that's kind of like what I do. It's not like I get paid huge amounts for this. In fact, you can check my YouTube channel on Google. You can check any YouTube channel's revenue. I just about make £300. Then I have to pay taxes on that to YouTube, which is 40%. Then I have to pay my taxes when I get it here, and then I have to pay like a FPS payment charge thing because it comes from Ireland. So like I don't do any of this because I'm, it's all simply constructive. I just believe time will always be better spent somewhere else. So, other than that, I've backed you guys up. And even with Bilbo being on the team, which I wasn't happy about, and then at the same time, like we don't hear from Bilbo. We don't see Bilbo in spaces and stuff. So yeah,
Oh, I made him angry.
I think
there's
Oh, I made him
always
angry.
room for criticism, Faffy.
Here he goes.
People criticize me all the time. They
no,
criticize
but
my
let's
NFT
not
project.
take it
Everybody.
personally.
It's the way it is.
You don't even know how long
He's
it
like a
takes me. Wait, you don't
bloody
even know how long it
Uzi
takes me to
of
get the
words.
update. You had me in a chat in a DM. Ask me, hey Fafi, how long does it take to make the update? I say 30 minutes. You go back, you criticize this. This is made up criticism, man. This is made up criticism. And besides, you and I know that you got a bit upset with me like the day before you made the video. And I want to go there. And I'm telling you straight because I think you could do a good job. I've had like many people in spaces telling me Happy Crypto is doing a good job, is telling us, etc. I appreciate. But then we need to fix things which are not working out well so that we don't do them again and that things work out well in the future. We all have to adjust. I have to adjust myself as well. You have to adjust too. And in this case, for example, it was an example of you using a little bit of your influence as an influencer to kind of throw like, we're human. It has to happen.
Well, I
You have a
I
voice.
think you're more
Go-
expecting that because we're friends and we've spoken and stuff that I shouldn't, criticize what you're doing. In fact, I should be doing that, and our
You're
relationship as a
twisting my
friend, and
facts.
it's all
Well,
business. It's
You're
nothing
twisting my
personal,
facts,
Faffy. It's all for
bro.
the
I am
No,
blockchain.
thoroughly
I can
enjoying
You
repeat it.
this
just
I can repeat
because
it again. Wait, no,
he's
no, no.
just
he
Can I
goes
repeat
proven
round
it
in
again?
exactly
circles,
what
doesn't
he's
he?
like.
No,
We've got
I can
him, we've
repeat
got
again.
Bilbo. You
And
don't
I
hear
can
from
dump,
Bilbo. For
I
all we
can
know, we're
repeat it
just paying
again,
an
or I can
alias
dump it
of
again
like
down so
maybe
that
one
you
of the team
understand. Because
members is getting
what I
double
don't like
wages.
is
Who
that when
knows?
people tell you
Right?
like
They're not
simply because your
doxxed.
work,
You've
that's
got
not about our
nothing
work.
on them.
You went ahead and you made an entire video about things that you haven't discussed with me, that I know that you don't necessarily, for example, taking an example for everyone here, the time I spent to make the update, you ask me how long it takes me. If you don't ask me and you go ahead and say to people they're wasting time on this, we have a big problem.
So I should
You
only
cannot
report on what
criticize my
Faffy
work
allows me
if
to
you don't know
report, and I
about it.
need to
You
report
ask
everything
me
to
first,
Faffy and
we
ensure
talk
that it's
about
all
it,
been through
and
Faffy
then you
first.
go
Yeah,
and you
nah.
report back, and then that should make me actually react in the sense that okay, people will come to me and say, hey guys, you're spending too much time doing this thing, etc. I go
Ooh,
to
I
the
love
guys,
living rent free
we
in people's
readjust,
minds.
and we do it right. That's the process
But
of criticizing my work
Faffy,
or our
why are
work,
you reacting to what Happy's doing? That's the whole point I
because
was trying to
there is a
make.
whole thing behind it that you don't know,
I don't. Oh,
Jerry.
yeah, maybe I don't. But like the
and,
whole
and
thing
and to be
is like
honest,
Oh,
it's
you didn't
painful when
tell
you
me,
put like
Mio
like
one. I
tens of
told all of
hours,
you
and I
lot this
think
is all
you said
just,
it says
go back,
no,
look
no,
at my
it's not. Yes,
videos. There's
well, no,
nothing I
it's a
haven't
very
called that
sensitive
hasn't
you're
come
not
to
topic.
open.
fruition yet.
That's a very
It's a
sensitive topic.
it's a
Sorry,
painful
because
thing.
I
he said it,
guess you're taking it personal, but
of
I don't
course,
give a fuck
extremely
who likes or
personal,
hates me. But
because HCC has a voice, and HCC can direct to you like quite a few people right? And he knows it, and that's his power, the power of having a voice
That could
within a
be.
community.
I'm not
How
Right?
is it
gonna deny that,
baseless
but feedback is
feedback? I
feedback.
literally said they're
It's
wasting
not
That
time
wasn't a
by
feedback.
putting up
That was the baseless
reports
feedback.
about what they've
It's
been doing.
feedback. If
Nobody
you think
cares
so,
what you've been
if it's
doing.
If I
He's
speak
even
like
said
Flo
himself,
Hayes,
no one
like
cares
you,
about
take
this,
that's
that,
it
and the
not
other.
and
feedback.
Just get
change
it done.
No,
You know,
he
it's
doesn't know. What do you want
it's
me to
all
change? Because
okay when the
this
shoe's
thing
on the
in
other
this
foot,
instance, we
right?
do it
They
at night.
voted
You're
against
right
Every
now.
Terraport
5
funds
minutes.
being taken from
Right now, you're
wallets and
just
put
showing
back to
everybody
the
that you're not very open
Terraport,
to
but they're more
somebody's
than happy to
criticism,
vote
which
through
criticism is all it is feedback.
the same thing to
He's
Hey
support
guys,
using
their
I
his
have a
cause.
voice.
This is
question.
He's
called
using
cherry
his
picking.
voice to basically, when he's upset with us, he's gonna go and tell his followers things which are not true, which he hasn't even
But they
discussed
follow
with
him because
us.
they like him. I mean, so
So
there's
that gives
that's
him
out of your control. So like,
that gives him the power to lie to people, to basically send them at my back. That's honest question straight. Boom.
I don't think he's sending anybody, man. It just he does a video. I mean, if you don't like the video, you listen to the video. You don't have to like it. I mean, if it requires a response, response. If it doesn't require a response, don't respond. It's just, I
The
mean,
problem is that it creates confusion. It creates basically the situation that you mentioned, Jerry, because people then they don't know, are they doing a good
but
job?
we're not
Are
going
they
to be
not
able to
doing a
stop
good
that from
job?
happening
Shall
because
we
he's
shall
an
we go
independent
with them?
creator.
Shall we follow what they say? Shall we not follow what they say? Are they doing a good job? Are they not doing a good job? That's a
Excuse me.
responsibility.
Faffy, you should just control what you can control. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the
Yeah, but
videos
Happy
he's putting
Catty,
out,
one
I would
thing.
just say your videos fucking suck and suck on these balls and just get back to work, bro.
Exactly. That is exactly what you say. You don't let someone live rent free in your mind. It's not healthy. Someone needs a
I
hug,
don't
I
know how we
think.
accept that personally, like to have like, it's okay to like people making videos once they have a reach. That's to me, that's actually, I agree with you, Matt. I agree with you. But that's a big part of the problem we're having is people having the ability, right, to control shares of the community for what they want, and then they're going to throw them at you, or they're going to put them back, or they're going to make them vote yes, or they're going to make them vote no. If you have on-chain governance, it means that, and you saw that like with you saw that with elections, with like Cambridge Analytica, etc., as a string
He's
team.
talking
So
about
that's
lawsuits.
like basically you can swing minds and swing
He's
people,
talking about
and
giving
that's
me
where
a
it becomes an
lawsuit.
issue for us and preventing us to basically
Oh
move forward.
no.
It's like
That's
Please
politics,
no.
man. You got to suck it
Okay,
up on
okay,
that one.
cool. Excuse me. We understand what all y'all is talking about. I just have a couple questions and inputs. That's it. Can I speak for a minute?
Oh, yeah, I have
Definitely.
no problem with you
Go
speaking.
ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious about the UST repeg, right? Is like in the back of your mind, like the people.
What happened?
Are you still there?
Yeah, the space just dropped out briefly. Everyone can start talking again.
Okay,
Well,
well,
I
I
guess
have
until
a
he's
question.
back. Oh, go ahead, Naja. Go ahead.
Happy Catty, can I ask you something? Do you know
Sure.
Jason, the new validator?
Jason, the new validator, is that his name or is that like an alias?
No, you talked to him today. You know exactly who I'm speaking about. Game protocol guy. Can I just ask you, because, there are many people who support you in here, which is really, really fine. I only have one question. There are also a lot of people who have a lesser opinion of you. And I just wonder, a guy that is building something really, really nice for the community, after he's been rugged by, I'm not going to say his name anymore. I'm just wondering, you've blocked him on Twitter and you've been pretty nasty to him as well. I'm just wondering why.
I honestly have little to no idea what you're going on about.
Okay.
Jason wouldn't stop self-promoting, and then he started DMing me asking why I'd taken it so personally that I wouldn't allow him to promote his stuff in the Telegram group. So let me break this down for you, okay? I have removed myself from that Telegram group. I've handed that Telegram group over to the community. If he wishes to go and promote in it, that's totally up to him. He can do that. I'm no longer part of Telegram groups because of personal attacks like like this. There's nothing I can do to help someone promote things. It doesn't work like that. If I give him a voice, I have to give Jerry a voice. If I give Jerry a voice, I've got to give Faffy a voice. If I give Faffy a voice, I've got to give, Faux Luna a voice, so
Yeah,
on and
give me a
so
voice,
forth.
bro.
Please, please. So, at the end of the day, it's a bit weird that you've come up to like target me with that, because ultimately I guess you already knew all of the answers. But yeah, I guess that answers it for you. No one gets a free ride and no one gets treated any better than anybody else because they're friends with me or anything like that. It's unfair to produce an unlevel playing field. I spent a lot of time building my NFT project up, struggling. So did Jerry. No one should get a free ride, right, Jerry?
It's not about that. It's about that you could have spoken to him in private instead of just blocking him and have other people tell him how you feel about him. It's just all about respect. I mean, you can just not agree, that's fine. But you can also just maybe say it in a different way. I've read the conversations, and that's all I want to say. I mean, it's all about supporting people in the same community, and you're both doing the same thing, and that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
I was in my DM when you asked me that, put me on the spot. I don't know, Happy. I don't have a strong opinion about that, but it's like this is what Matt said. I mean, if things are out of your control, there's no use worrying about it. I know that if HappyCattyCrypto does a video talking about this or that, he's going to have his own opinion on it. And if it's about something that I'm doing on the chain, my layer 2 or anything like that, and if he doesn't like it, there's going to be feedback there. So me personally, I'll listen to it. If it's unfounded, okay, I can't use that feedback. But if there is something there I can use, I'm going to find it and I'm going to apply it. And that's it. I'm not saying he did anything that you could change. I don't know. I have no idea. But
he's just unhappy because I wouldn't promote his NFT project and wouldn't allow him to self-promote across all of our stuff.
Dickhead.
People get so angry, right, that I don't take like this personal approach with like everyone.
I wasn't angry.
No, not you. No. Just people in general, right? So people will message me like, "Oh, can you help me like build this NFT project?" It's like, dude, I'm juggling a full-time job. I've got kids and stuff, I've got like, I can't give anybody a free ride. I'm just barely
you're talking about that individual. Yeah, because we reached out to you. Me and V-Shape reached out to you, and you said no, and we're like, oh, okay. And we moved on.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
HappyCattyCrypto, can I ask you a question? We never really had the opportunity to talk, but considering that you're doing quite well in terms of NFT volume on the Luna Classic blockchain, I salute you for that, and I wish you the the absolute best, right? Because I have my own thing, and I know the struggles are real. Like a brief summary, how could potentially newer projects be more successful? I think if we talk about the solutions and how people could implement set standards to increase their chances to be successful, I think that's the best that we can do, I guess.
Hold spaces.
I got you. I've got the perfect answer. You're never going to believe this, right? Build for your community and build it into the blockchain. My system is so like efficient at what it does, and it's done what it did because I gave everything back to the community and took nothing. Their treasury is so large. Like some people message me like, "Oh, your treasury is so big, blah, 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 you must be rich." No, my holders are rich. My holders get good rewards. So my best bit of advice for anyone building an NFT project right now is do it all organically. Don't cheat, don't cut corners, don't try to take the easy option. Pioneer in something new. I've just pioneered in a 9 wallet module that handles a banking system for the clans that are now integrated into our NFT project. So we're stepping it right up. We're more than less 2 months out from launching our mobile game. And this has all been done, right, with zero funding. Everything went back to the holders. And what I believe is what CZ says, trust is the best form of currency. And it will get you to where you need to go. You'll be carried by your community. Honestly, organic building and just do everything right. build for your community, and take steps, take pauses and think, how can I take this and put it on steroids and pioneer in something new? It's not easy. A lot of people who are part of Penguins will know that the first mint after that, our price plummeted because the module takes time to build. It takes time to build itself out. It's self-serving. That's also my best bit of advice, is build a system that requires no funding.
I appreciate that. And yeah, let me just quickly say something, Faf, and I will get to you. So for everybody who's trying to build on this chain, you heard from the man himself, no free rides. And I can pretty much say from my own journey, it is really difficult to build on this blockchain. But once you get past the difficulties, it's absolutely amazing the type of support that you can get from this community. And I wish
big drop coming tomorrow for Penguins, folks. Don't miss it. It's coming at midday. You do not want to miss this drop. It's probably one of the biggest drops ever.
This is beautiful.
Ever.
Awesome.
This NFT project is mounds above everybody else. Mounds above everybody else. And this is not even a gloating thing or boasting. It's just simply saying we've built something for the community. And it's insane.
Things that we're going through. So, like, any influencer has a voice that he can use.
Oh, Fafi's going on about me again.
Right? He makes a video about his own opinion. That's true. But it also means it's not just an opinion, basically what he wants to
Tavish,
say.
you're more than welcome.
Right?
I'm really enjoying holding these live streams. Not easy for someone like me who's just a very small influencer, I get nervous like everybody else, but ultimately, if you're on the spot, you're on the spot. Really enjoying these. Thanks everyone for showing up and supporting. I appreciate it. I appreciate you choosing to support me and just follow me along this path. I really appreciate it.
Now, maybe his proposal was good for the network. Maybe the proposal was good for the blockchain. But as an influencer, I have the power to actually make that happen and to basically get upvoted what I want or downvoted what I want.
Well, Fafi, right? that goes back to the work ethic I was talking about. So he took the years to build that platform to where he can have that type of influence by doing the work that he was doing. You just put your head down and grind and say, fuck the noise, dude. Your work is going to speak for itself, my man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree because lucky we got in this position now that we can actually do the work and still it's extremely hard. I mean, I got up to 2 days ago, people telling me like, hey, we need, hey guys, what are you up to? What have you been doing? Yes, the work speaks for itself, but you can, like, what I'm trying to say is that can we not also try to like work out or help a little bit on this kind of like influence and sound and noise that we're gonna get?
You heard he just kicked somebody out of the Telegram and didn't want to help support him. So
yeah, Happy Catty's doesn't want to support anybody. So just
dude, it's a dog eat dog world, bro.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine by me. What do we do then? We say that it's fine, and that's also fine by me. We just say it so we know. So we say that it's fine, that people can run around saying whatever they want, and we don't care, and it's cool, and we're gonna just let it go. Or we say that it's not good, and perhaps you should,
Are you referring to his video about the Quant team?
I'm talking generally speaking because that's a problem that personally I see.
This guy has got a very guilty conscience.
Bilbo, for example, is a guy
a very guilty conscience.
Developer.
You don't keep backpedaling like that and feel the need to like prove to everybody in this chat right now that
I think we can say that, tomorrow if you have like an issue or whatever, like with the blockchain, that's going to be one of the guys that you can rely on to help the blockchain restart or to help you. Basically, that's the kind of guy like PFC or like, we've got some of these guys. Of course, all nodes are always here, like the biggest validators and all. And he's been getting like people hate Bilbo. They don't even know why. Because yes, the work is going to stand for itself, but you do have this kind of paranoia.
Like it.
And but well, I'm asking you the question. So you've done like maybe even like what he's done or like his action. I think it could be worse. But then like it's the whole marketing behind it, right? The whole marketing like. It's very easy. For example, DKW rug happened, and you started to see a narrative. Again, I'm not talking like fully
Basically,
about
Fafi doesn't like freedom
HTC
of
is not the
speech, which
worst
is very
user
strange
in
because he's
space,
from
to be honest.
France. Let me explain something about
you
the
start getting
French.
the narrative that, hey,
When they
VW,
installed speed
this guy
cameras on the motorway in
many people,
France,
they don't know, they get
okay,
confused.
the
Basically, what I'm trying
French
to say is
went
that
round and
he may say
rioted
like my
and
work,
burnt
yes,
them
of
all.
course, my work
You know, these
for
guys are
himself,
nuclear at heart.
and that's fine. But lots of the confusion, lots of the chaos, lots of the issues that you're seeing, that you are
He
talking
wants
about,
me
and
to
that you
go
said,
away. He wants
Jerry, for
freedom of
example,
speech to
earlier,
go
that you
away.
don't want
Nah.
to be part of it because of, are originating from this. So we want this to go away. We start looking into the source of this noise. We say it's fine, you can make a video and you can do as you wish, and
So it
that's
sounds
completely
like
fine. I don't mind personally, just and then I let you. So I don't mind, like in chaos, we can keep going in chaos and confusion. I can navigate myself. I know where to find the truth, and I know where to find the fact, etc. For me, it's not a problem at all. If you want to have like a bit of a better atmosphere, etc., I'm afraid to some extent it will have to go through this. But again, that's up to where we want to go, guys. You know, we can say that is not a problem, it's a non-issue. Anyone can say. And again, I'm not talking
goddamn dude, you
specifically
talk
about
so much.
You're,
No one
you're
can give
fighting against. You're literally fighting against freedom of speech, which is absolutely insane to hear that from you, and it shows
you're a
character,
bullshitter,
Fafi.
HTC. You're bullshit. You're doing it just now. Like you're a drama queen, man. You're talking about, but no, I'm
Ooh,
not. I'm
inside his
telling
head.
you, like, how do we do
There's no
when
need to
someone
swear at me in French,
I
Fafi.
I
We all
can
learn
no,
French in
I didn't.
school.
I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, I
I
didn't.
can
I
tell
say,
you
but
how
no.
you deal
I
with
say
it.
no.
You have to have a PR response, public relation type response. You just pumped up Bilbo. I get it. Everybody in this community that doesn't like
Suck on
Bilbo
them balls.
doesn't like Bilbo for a reason. He is a PR nightmare for you guys. You took him. That's your problem. You can complain all day long that people don't like him, but he is your public relations issue. So it's up to you to fix it. It's not up to Happy. It's not up to me, Matt, or anyone else that has influence. That's
This
the
is
PR nightmare that you adopted.
Tell
This
him.
is counterproductive. If we have HTC, I give him even like I leave
I mean,
HTC
it don't
right
matter at the
now.
end of the day.
No. If I leave
Tell him.
HTC right now, like you need, like he's built like the penguin things, but great. We need also like other people with other skills. If we keep chasing them, we are hurting ourselves. You don't agree with that?
You don't understand public relations. I mean, I don't. I'm not an expert
Look,
on it,
man,
but I know somebody that is.
we
But
need skilled people, but skilled people that kind of like the same situation at TR in. You know, they had to rebrand. Like the skilled people you have kind of pissed off the community. So it's like you can't be mad at people for making videos and all this
Who
other
am
shit
I?
about
I'm
people.
Klaus Schwab.
No.
you guys got to
That's
put
fine.
out your own
That's
fire
fine. That's
with
fine, by the way.
Bilbo.
That's fine. That's fine. And I agree as well. And I feel
Yes,
like
represent
you know,
yourself with your own
wait.
YouTube channel.
Like no, but what I was trying to say is that like, if you keep like
Is he
I think
seriously
like
telling us to
that was
move on?
6 months ago. That's gone. It's over. Move on, man. We're here. We're doing the job. Move on. That's what I'm saying. Move on. Like you know, the video for like the weekly update. That's more ridiculous than something else. Like the video when you're gonna talk, for example, now. Wait, I hope you haven't made a video or you're not gonna make a video about the fire block and potentially that is the cause of like the proposal because that's just gonna create chaos and confusion. Ask us, we give you the answer, and so you can get the facts straight to the people, and we save time. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, in Happy Catty's defense, every time I've listened to one of his videos, he talks about what the proposal is, then he talks about his opinion. Me, as an individual investor and somebody that can vote if I want to, I can take his opinion and I can agree with it or I can disagree with it. All of his videos are informative enough, in my perspective, that it's not going to influence me because I have a brain to think. I think where the manipulation occurs more often is not necessarily on YouTube. The manipulation happens more on Twitter when we can
Just to let everybody
basically
know,
drown people's voices out if we want to in
Alejandro, I
spaces,
really
right? Or make
appreciate your
people look
support,
stupid because
but
some
I
people
am
don't know how to talk as
absolutely
well as I do.
loving
I can
this
make people look
because,
stupid sometimes.
right, there's
I
no
don't do
better
that
way to
because there's no
show
point.
someone's true
But
character than like
I
this.
try not to do
Honestly, there's no better way for
So
you all to
at the end of the
get
day,
a version of why I
if you
had
have
to block
issues
this guy,
with
right?
the
I've
Quant
unblocked
team or if you're
everybody
doing your
now,
job,
actually,
all that kind
funny
of stuff, you
enough.
don't like what
I'm
Happy
just
says,
going to let
or
things
somebody
roll,
else comes
whatever.
up with
It's
some
really funny.
random
But
tweet,
I would look
he's
at the
like
tweet.
this
Oh, the guy's only
in
got 100
messages.
followers.
He's
Don't
very,
pay no
very,
mind to it. Move
very
forward. Keep
aggressive,
going.
very violent, very
Put a
defensive.
update up there.
I
Like,
actually
there's some
asked him
things you
why
just don't need
his.
to address because there's no point.
I actually asked
right?
him why
And
his
then
repos
maybe
and
there's some
stuff
things you do
were
need to
hidden, and
address.
he went insane
The
at
Bilbo
me,
thing,
which is nuts, right?
I don't know him. I don't know everything that he's done.
Right?
But I do know one thing. It's a public relations problem. And I would hate to be in your position to have to deal with that because I understand it's a hard mountain to climb because it is what it is. So you guys have him on your team. You got to deal with that PR issue. Like, that's your PR issue. No matter how you deal with it, it's on you.
I think it's been dealt with, to be honest. I mean, I think, to be honest, personally, like, I think people are very nice, we are very happy with him, etc. It was just like a misunderstanding and more like, and again, going back to what he has done, I think people have done much worse.
Oh yeah, I'm designing an
And,
access system currently, folks.
think-
Meanwhile,
I
under all of
personally
this,
think
I'm
people have
literally
done
doing
much
architecture
worse, right? So he
whilst
didn't,
doing all
like,
of this.
you know,
Don't worry,
he
my
just,
time's
when
well
he gets
spent here
upset,
with
he
you
gets
folks.
vocal about it.
I'm hitting,
That's fair
as
enough.
Chuck
We are
Norris
not,
would
like,
say, I'm hitting
asking
two
him to be a
stones
bit
with
more
one bird.
diplomatic. Why not? But he's never said something which was not true. He's never lied. He's never, like, you know, he hasn't done like the worst possible things ever as well. So I think it's important to keep that in mind.
He's just voicing his opinion, and that's what
But
Happy's doing, you know. But
based
that's
on
where it goes
facts.
back to being your
Yes.
your PR nightmare.
Yeah. Based on facts, though. Happy sometimes is not necessarily facts. It's like
I
when
mean,
he gets a bit upset.
Claybro is far worse than I am. The videos that he does
Far
are
worse.
crazy.
I don't watch that.
I just have an
Hey,
opinion,
I
and then
think
I
it's
Nothing
play
like
good
against you, Clay,
cowboy,
bro,
bad
but
cowboy.
HTC. It's almost HTC. I can say like it's almost your own PR. You're like massively on our side. At least like you're fair to some extent, etc. And like we have some things to, and again there are some things to adjust and all. But like Claybro, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm gonna break my phone. I'm joking, but you know, no. But sad actually for his followers, but he's bullshitting them and all. But I wouldn't even compare. Like, to be honest, that's to me, that's. Like that's not you can't compare, right? So HTC, at least, like, you know, he does like some good stuff, and like, you know, he talks about things and says things, etc. There is a little bit part which I think is a little bit annoying, and that we would like to see sorted out so that we can keep the best and that it can be amazing, because we like Overlord Pinguino is the best, you know. So few things to adjust here and there, but Claybro, you can't even compare. That's like a whole different deal. That's another level, and I wouldn't put you on the same level of bullshit and all things.
tell us how you really feel.
I
don't talk bullshit. I just play good cowboy, bad cowboy, give my own opinion, and then allow others to opinionate what they think in the comment section. Other than that, what happens after that is what it is. This is what I do.
I don't know. I think his videos are fairly like they're informative.
My Terra Classic guides have over 1 million like counters in reach altogether, and that was just the guides that I set up for this community. You know, I'm not. You know, a lot of people take everything that I do personally. Nothing's personal. I just want what's best for this blockchain. I want to see us become what we all want us to be. You know, there's a lot of people that look to us, and I was someone who was brought up in the trenches of this. I don't know if I was the first person who walked into this, but I can tell you something for sure. There was no one around me talking about any of it, and I was, you know, deemed a conspiracy theorist to begin with, but Binance did end up burning, didn't they? But, you know, ultimately I don't think you need to like worry about it too much, Faffy. Like someone like Claybro does way more damaging videos to this blockchain, way more damaging videos. And lots of people listen to these guys, right? Because all they seek is what's called RPM. This is called rates per mile, and then impressions. The more impressions, the more boost your video gets. The more boost your video gets, the more RPM it receives. The more RPM you receive, right, the better, because then you're going to get more money. Like, it's so easy for me to just go, yeah, the Quant team's doing everything right. It's going to go to $1 tomorrow. Oh, Binance
do a
just
video
burned loads of stuff.
$1,
But
Happy.
yeah, literally,
Yeah.
you know, oh my God, that'd be the day. And maybe on April Fool's, Jerry. Maybe on April Fool's.
I got to wait a whole year.
A whole year.
But that's why I mean, when I was talking about the influencer problem, that's exactly what you described, and you described it in a much better way than I could. And I said that I wasn't. If you thought like all I was talking about earlier, etc., was you, it's not. That's the kind of problem that we have on our chain. That's a big problem, I think. But we don't deal with it. We don't care anyway.
You're on the Quant team, so which one of you?
Go on, Jerry. Baited him
has
straight
the most
into
free
it.
time to be able to talk? Is it you? Because you're here. I mean,
no,
I'm asking for a reason. I'm not asking to try to do shade.
We find time. We find time, man. I mean, it's
okay.
Not like,
well, I would like someone. I would like somebody on the Quant team to come to my podcast and tell their story.
Me, you have to pay though.
No, man.
No, I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking. Yeah, well, of course, yeah. That would be
I don't charge people. Get out of here.
No, I'm joking. We basically are very happy to go and talk to everyone because you guys have followers and you want to listen, and it's important for them to get the message or to actually understand what we're doing, etc. Because we work under governance and we kind of work for them to some extent. So always happy to do that. Always happy to find the time, even though HTC might not be happy about it. But I take
100%. I've offered you guys a podcast, but only on one set of terms, that all of the whole Quant team attends the podcast, Bilbo included, and I will do the podcast with you folks.
We already talked to Bilbo. Happy he doesn't want a voice docs. I don't know. He's got
nah. Then then there's no podcast unless there's a Bilbo present.
No podcast. That's fine. I don't care. I mean, you bring. Why? I was talking to Jerry. That's fine. So
Bilbo can come.
Red flag.
There is they have voice modulation on Twitter.
Oh, Bilbo doesn't want a voice doc. I've heard about face. The only reason I was able to dox myself is because I'm ugly.
He's got a few female ones.
Yes,
right.
I can ask him actually.
Right.
To be honest, I can ask him and I can look back with them and we try to organize it. I think we stopped at the point HTC. If you go back to the DMs, we stopped at the point that we should do a podcast, or at least I did not understand that it had to be all of us together, but it doesn't matter. And then I think you blocked me, so we never really get to the end of it. But
yeah, you message in the same way that you speak, my friend. Very, very fast, very aggressive, and you don't take pause. You don't absorb information. You just wait for someone to finish so you can respond.
Well, because I'm just I'm just direct, and perhaps you take it as aggressive, but it's like, when you ask me a question, I tell you having
you spin my head right round. Oh my god, this guy goes in loops.
Bad things everywhere, man. It's like, no, let's focus on important things. Let's talk about things which are relevant, things which can generate PNL for the blockchain, things which can bring us into a better position. That's what we must spend our energy on.
My platform's good for that because basically the guests are in charge of the conversation and the direction it goes. I don't take a side. I can ask some tough questions here and there, and sometimes we do address, things of concern, but it's in a way that we want to know where you came from, and it's more of it's story based, and it's just to give people
there's a lot of red flags in this Twitter space. I think the majority of the community would find it interesting to know that Bilbo doesn't even want a voice docs. They want a podcast given it Barry. I've even got messages where Bilbo has apparently asked for a podcast, said yes.
Does that make sense? I mean,
never nothing.
We're not going to
wobble
throw a
gob.
curveball at you, although
no.
some people want us to, but we just don't. There's other platforms for that, and we can do a roundtable someday where curveballs can be thrown, in a roundtable, right? But not on the podcast portion.
That's perfectly fine.
And it will help you with transparency.
Yeah. I'm very. That's perfect. I'm very. That's perfect for me. And even if you want to throw curveballs, that's fair enough. That's what we're here for, and that's also why, don't forget, you pay us, and we have to be accountable at the end of the day. Good accountable. So I don't mind coming to your podcast and you ask me a question something that you're not happy with or whatever. You can, man. It's completely fine, and I'm gonna answer, and maybe you're not gonna like it, or you're gonna like it, or I'm gonna convince. But to me, that's part of the job, and that I don't mind at all. Sorry if you thought our.
It's a little lighthearted. My podcast. It's more like we might joke around and stuff. We don't really.
Mm-hmm. No, I've heard it actually. I've listened to it. I found it was pretty good actually. So that's fine by me. We'll work out who we get through and the dates, etc. That's cool.
Do you want to
But
do a call today? We can do it on Discord. We can start the planning process. I got to tell you, it's probably going to be 3 weeks out, though.
That's fine. Yeah. Yes. After this, let's catch up probably after the space or whatever. But let's line this up. So
I'll send you my a picture of my Discord profile so you can add me, and then we'll start it there. We'll just have a conversation. Now, typically, what we do, I dox my face to you. I don't give you my address or anything, but I could. I don't care. And then PSX does. We both get on video. Do you have a problem getting on video? We don't do it on. We don't do it during
the video with DJ Trev. He's here, like, by the way. I only do face videos with DJ Trev. Anyone else, I don't. No, I'm joking. I mean, if we can do voice, it's better. If we have to do a face, I'd rather not.
We just do the face thing to be more personable. But if you're having a connection problem, we turn it off because that's annoying to deal with. But it's more of a. We don't really want the people that aren't willing to put themselves out there to go on the podcast, because we are allowing them, to tell their story. So it's important for us that
Did somebody just step on a duck?
You're a real person, like you did with DJ Trev. But we don't record that and send it and blast it everywhere. I mean, we maintain your privacy. I've seen. So just everybody that's been on my podcast, I've seen their face. Every single one. Just so you know.
I will feel reassured if we have DJ Trev somewhere around us to show my face. Big up to Cap Verde, by the way. But okay, let's talk about it. I mean, that's part of the thing. We don't want to dox, etc. Machin. Then it's it kind of how do you say? I forgot the name.
Just be prepared for a more lighthearted conversation, because I mean, it's not going to be so super serious all the time, because serious is boring.
If we don't fight, I don't come.
No, man. I mean, no drama. It's a no drama zone. So sorry, but
you know that I did a very good one actually with HTC when he was fan of me back then. I did a very good podcast with him.
I think I think it would be interesting to get you on one of the roundtables, but we have to do an actual podcast first. So we do your podcast, and then we can get people on a roundtable. So when we do roundtables, we could have Vin on there, we could have you on there, we could have maybe Alex on. Alex has been on my podcast already. Now that was before we did video, but he's already doxed. We already know what he's like, because he's a real person. He doesn't hide, right? But yeah, we could do something like that. I mean, I think the community would enjoy some type of roundtable discussion between you guys. Are already talking to each other anyway. You know, the L1 and the Quant team. You guys have to talk to each other. I would right?
We don't talk. Quant teams doesn't talk. We work only.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about technical things like work.
No, I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking. No. We do talk. I mean, we all know each other. That's why sometimes what people think and the reality is quite different, right? So we do speak within. We spoke, as I said, some time ago. I've been quite busy lately, or we've been busy lately, so we didn't get a chance to talk. But we do talk. We all know each other, right? So we've been around for a bit now, I think, and we've been working on different pieces which requires people to talk or to ask questions or whatever. So we kind of all know each other somehow to some extent.
And we can even address the Bilbo concern during the podcast, but obviously you're the one that's going to be talking about it.
I think bro, is this guy Bilbo or something? He keeps laughing every time. He's like, hee.
Then you can say that. Yeah, I mean,
sounds like my younger cousin when we were young. He used to fart and then he'd turn around like,
hee. A few times.
Oh my god, bro!
I'm pretty sure you said positive things about Bilbo. Pretty confident he did.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, like again, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, concerns are in people's mind, or it's because like the video they may have heard, etc. But concretely, like things are going pretty well. I think, you know, I think Vin likes is a big fan of what we do. I think things are going well for them too, or at least they need to. I mean, let's see where they're at, etc. There's been like a bit of changes with people leaving, stuff like that, and all. But we're pretty good. I don't think we have like any, or we don't even have any reason to have an issue, if you want, right? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I know Alex has already been on it, so he would. I'd love to have him on there again too, just to ask him about what's going on Quant team stuff. But you know, somebody from the Quant team, probably you, since you're the one that kind of said yes. And then outside of you, I mean, anybody else that wants to, that's fine. And Bilbo could potentially come on if I can convince PSX that he can use a voice mod or something. I don't know. Good luck with that one though, because he likes the idea of us knowing some, like, we don't know where you live and stuff like that, right? We don't. But when you see me, you see that you're gonna see I have a goatee, you know, that kind of thing. You're gonna see that stuff. Or
But isn't it you on the who is on the NFT actually in the that he has put in the nest? That's the one, no? Who is that? I know it's
that's actually from Luna Sapiens. Oxier's.
Yeah. Hey, but no. What I'm trying to say is that it defeats the purpose somehow, like to dox to you and not to others. No, what do you think?
No, we can't dox you to the dude. That's on you if you want to dox to the community. That's got nothing to do with us. Mm-hmm. And it's not even a full doxing.
Yeah, you don't dox yourself. You use a company and you give your information to them, as to which your information doesn't get released unless you do something wrong. As to which it still doesn't get released to the public. It gets released to, you know, the police.
Yeah, that's KYC. That's how it should work.
Well, I'm not sure. I think, by the way, talking about this, there is a proposal for KYC. I think people are mistaken. It's not KYC that you want, it's a background check. Usually, like KYC is for a bank to do with their customers for money laundering and terrorism and all this stuff. Background check is like to hire someone, basically, I think, no?
Yeah, background checks sound like a great idea.
We should do that to all of our developers that join the chain. Everybody should be KYC'd and everything. Honestly, it's too much money.
KYC is not real. KYC is not what you think it is. KYC is when you're facing is know your customer. So you just want to make sure that your customer is not a money launderer nor a terrorist. Otherwise, you get fined massively. Right? What you want in your case, what you really want, but you call KYC, is background check. I do that. I did that. I did one like at the
beginning. Are you picking hairs again, Faffy?
The what?
Okay, so you're right.
Oh, no, I was not.
Web3 has the wrong terminology for what it is, but everybody in crypto calls it KYC, even though you're right.
Exactly.
They use the term incorrectly.
To be honest, man, if you're going to take money from the community pool, somebody has to know who you are. Like, I understand that you're in a position that Bilbo's on your team and he doesn't want to voice docs and all that shit, but to be honest, man, the right way to go about doing business, if you want money from the community pool, you need to dox. If you want to work for free, I don't give a fuck. But if you want money from us, you should be doxed to some entity that can hold you accountable.
Yes, okay, but what do you think? What good does this basically? What do you think is going to do?
It could be a smart contract. Hey, it could be a smart contract for all I give a fuck, just as long as somebody is being held accountable in some type of way.
That's right, Matt. So, for example, you know, the thing I'm trying to say is that you want people to be accountable. That's the problem you're trying to solve. So, for example, if I don't do the job, or if I fuck up, or if I say I just ran away with the money, you want to be able to sue me or things like that. Is it what you're saying, Matt?
Yeah, just like Quant.
I'd want to come to your house and fuck you up,
but just like Quant. What's wrong?
No, I don't think suing is the right terminology either, because I don't. Honestly, it's just if you have a contract, which is a proposal to do work, if you failed at it or whatever,
Sending a shout out
you don't get paid
to
extra until it's
Rips.
done. It's like
Guy's a
a
real hero
working
in real life.
doing
Huge
construction.
ratings, Rips. Have a really
You do
nice
the work,
day.
and if something's wrong with it, you come back and fix it, and you don't get paid for the fix.
And we should
However, there is a maintenance fee, right? I mean, I think we're getting way too in the weeds. It's pretty simple. It's basically hold you accountable doesn't mean ruin your life if you make a mistake. That's not what it means. Holding you accountable just means straight up was like, if you do something nefarious, there is a chain of events that can occur that help protect the community. But at the end of the
Otherwise,
day,
you get shit that happened like with Steve. Like they posted Steve's fucking information on Commonwealth. Like if the whole L1 team would have been KYC to a third party, fucking voted in by the community, you wouldn't have all that shit. Or maybe you would. Fuck, I don't know. But
yeah, maybe
what happened with Steve was wrong. You know, that was fucking
extremely
wrong.
was extremely wrong, by the way, Matt. Terribly wrong. It happened to Alex as well, by the way. You know, and to be honest, even if we may not like the guy, or if some people may not like the guy, it happened to Vegas as well. You know, I think there was like pictures of his wife. He just had a baby back then. These things are bad. Like we don't want to do these things at all to no one.
Yeah, the attack that was made on Steve was like totally different, and it was a political move. It was Commonwealth was weaponized to get that up and then get it deleted. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. To get it deleted in time enough, so as if the admins had done their job right. It had its desired effect. They knew if they leaked that information, that LBA would have to leave. That is all tactics. That is, and then ask yourself why would you do that? Is it personal? Nah, it's not. This blockchain is a direct threat. Faffy, man, you're terrible talking over people. I'm still speaking.
Of course, because I hate being with someone who makes things up. But
what are you talking?
That's not talking. You came to the space saying, "Hey guys, Fireblock is gonna leave."
Oh, here we go, backpedaling again. Oh, we back at the start now.
We're back to the same thing again, man.
We're back
This
at the
guy
beginning.
will defend all the bad
Full circle.
actors. I honestly solely believe this is not the team we should be funding.
It was only 9 hours.
Guys, that's very important. Let me finish, please. So what I'm saying is that making unbased, unfounded claims is a terrible thing to do. Is a terrible thing. You make fun of it. You find it funny. It's cool for you. But HCC coming and saying, "Hey, that's basically Bilbo or CW who left it, blah blah blah," that's made up. And I'm not even taking personal.
Well, they're the administrators. They're the administrators of Commonwealth.
Would you feel better if he said, "It's my opinion that Bilbo and them leaked Steve's information"?
Then I like that. I love that.
What? Like I say at the end of every single one of my videos ever. That is all my own opinion. All right. Okay.
Well, it's my opinion that
on the delivery.
Oh, hi, Trev.
On the delivery.
Can we get DJ Trev up as a speaker, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Happy Catty.
I will take care of that now, guys.
Bro, Occam's razor. Apply that to the whole doxing situation.
Yeah, bro.
Occam's razor. If you apply Occam's razor to that,
background checks, mate. Get it right now. God.
Jesus. Occam's razor it points the finger at the most culpable people or the most likely culpable people. It points the finger directly at them.
But that's good. I'm gonna look into it. But
hey guys, I gotta run. I gotta roll. Hey, good talking to everybody. I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
Take care, Matt. It was a pleasure having you.
Ciao, Matt.
Yeah, you should come more often, man.
All right, see you, man.
Okay, so let's solve the problem. Let's be problem solver, and that's why I was asking Matt actually what is.
There is no problem. Like LUNC is no longer here.
Not about him. I mean, again, to be honest, and that's very fortunate what happened to him and all these events. Just for the record, like the doxing, the thread has been posted once the day before and has been deleted right away and then has been posted again. So it was like there was a bit of that. But when I said the problem, it was not that I wanted to talk about. It was like the doxing and accountability situation. But I care more like I'm talking about like we're trying to progress for the blockchain and make things happen. And what I'm trying to say is that if you want people to be doxed, what do you want it for? So that you don't lose money, because besides being like a Quant or whatever, etc., I'm also an investor.
Are you talking about my podcast, or are you talking about for the blockchain?
No, for the blockchain, man. That's what matters.
Oh,
Really, like for
accountability.
us,
It
right?
doesn't. They don't. If they want to be doxxed, they can be doxxed. That's up to them, though. As far as accountability, you can do a third party
Right,
thing.
so
It
I
doesn't
guess it's
need to be.
time to get together
Everybody
another
doesn't need to know who you are.
proposal to
I guarantee there's somebody
introduce
crazy enough in the
mandatory
community to knock on your
KYC
front door if
background
you did
check,
that.
doxes,
Potentially.
whatever the
So
hell you want to split it
third
down into
party is the
hairs.
part that you feel
Tomatoes is a
comfortable with, not
tomato, right?
a full
What
No,
doxing
it's got
what
skin
does
on it.
what does it
Shut
do
up.
though, Jerry? That's my
I
question.
think
What
we need
does
to
it
get a
do, doxing
proposal
to us?
provides
together.
accountability.
Gonna
That's
get
it.
that one together.
What do you mean by accountability? I
Let me
don't
know what you
understand.
folks think in the comment section.
Okay,
Is this a
if
good idea? Should
you
we
decided
KYC
to
the dev teams? Should that be a thing
take
from now
money
on for
from,
accountability to ensure
you
they
guys
don't rug us or
programmed
bury
something
anything into the
that was
code
able to
like
siphon
what
some
happened with
USTC,
Terraport?
and then you cashed it out, and then we found out about it. Let's say what happened with Terra C Vita. If that particular dev was KYC'd or doxed at least to them, they would have some measure to do something about it, right? That's what it is. Like, why is that so hard to understand?
No, well, it's very hard to understand to me because in an international world, for example, where would you go? For example, I'm Moroccan citizen.
Well,
My
corporations
country.
know who
Wait,
the fuck works for
no,
them. Come on.
wait.
Steady on with the
No,
war
wait.
stuff, lad. Steady on.
You don't let me finish, guys. I'm super serious, and I think I'm worth listening because I know a little bit about this thing. So I'm Moroccan citizen. My country won't extradite me, and even though, are you gonna come and are you gonna feel things against me in my country? What are you gonna do? I don't get what you mean by
I
accountability.
appreciate
Are you
So
you
trying
what
to
you're
not
saying
lose
to us
pointing
money?
that
is
out,
that if you do
Fafi.
something wrong, none of us can get to you.
What I'm saying is that in an international world, it's not completely straightforward how you get to someone. If you think that in the UK or in the US that law applies, it might not apply where the person is. And also, depending on how the thing has been structured, is
Well,
not sure that you can do much in terms of contract. That's the reality of it. That's what
the
I'm saying.
DOJ works directly with Interpol. I don't think there will be a true issue with anything like that.
So you're gonna
But
see. You're
when we're
gonna see.
talking about
No,
small amounts of money, you could probably still get away with some shit. But
no.
it's just it's a little bit of security blanket that makes people feel good. That's
All right,
really
I prefer this format. Is like a security blanket, which is not going to prevent a fuck up from happening, but it kind of gives that feeling that bad things are gonna. It kind of make you feel good. That's a good. That's why I asked for accountability. So basically, we want doxing or this thing or KYC so that we can have some sort of good feeling about somehow knowing who we are dealing with more than preventing bad things from happening. That's what you're saying, right?
No, we're saying accountability. If anything happens, we have info and data so we could correct it and won't make the same mistake again. We need data. That's what it is.
What you gonna do? I still don't get it, man. What does it? I mean, what are you?
Well, the
We don't
likelihood
give a
is
fuck if you do good things
someone
or
here is
bad
probably
things.
now
We
going to
just want to know
propose.
if we could fix the problem and we won't run into the problem again. If something bad or good happens, if something good happens, we can continue that progress. If something bad happens, we know that progress ain't working. We could skip it. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
yeah.
you mean skip the person, or
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if somebody does something they shouldn't do, we should use somebody else, right? Like it's a background
yes?
check, like you said. But I don't know. Like that's just I think everyone that holds a bag that has nothing to do with the development probably feels the same way. Happy, you invest in other projects sometimes. I'm sure you've put some money in some other tokens at some point in your life. Does it make you feel better if there's somebody that's KYC'd or doxed? Does that make you feel better?
100 million bazillion gazillion%. The amount of so like if you look at the greatest trick ever performed by Houdini, he buried a card in a tree, like I think like 17 years. Don't quote me on this, but he buried a card in a tree and he went back and performed the magic trick and pulled the card that was encased in glass out of that tree. That is called pre-planning. That is called being a mastermind. The reason why we should KYC background check, if you want to call it that, criminal background checks as well, is for the simple fact that there's so many different like things. Like, for example, the teams can just get up and walk and just return their money, and they're not tied into like a contract where they need to give us a month's notice or we need to, suffice proper replacements. This is like become the wild west of crypto, I believe. So yeah, getting your team KYC'd getting the L1 team KYC'd and getting it all done officially, right, is going to send the best signals right now. For example, sorry to go back to Fireblocks, you lot, but it's going to send a good example to Fireblocks, isn't it? Oh, you know, their devs are KYC'd. So, yeah.
And so it means they can't fuck up? No. Still higher risk of loss of money. But that's the point I'm trying to get to, basically. Doc 1 was KYC'd. The crash happened. So, yeah. It feels to me that we will get...
team was all doxed or KYC.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Still, what they did, they still managed to destroy the ecosystem, whether they wanted it or not. What I'm trying to say is that we don't.
But the authorities can investigate them because they know who they are.
Absolutely, and which is awesome.
But they don't know who you are. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Wait.
Of doing it.
What good does it do though? Once things have happened, like
no
for
one's.
example, I'm more into an audit, or code audit these things, etc. Do like a lot of good and are very useful. And to me, higher priorities, right? Because even like right now, the L1, we don't know who they are. Well, we know, but let's say we don't. Fair enough. Whatever they do, you audit it. It feels good. It's good. Right now, they're doxed. We know who they are, etc. That's fine. If they made, and I'm not even saying like because these things are complex, they make a mistake. Boom, we turn on the market module. Bam, bam, bam. We mint, boom, we're gone. Like, okay, we're gonna sue them. I don't think like you're gonna sue. I don't think that Vin is gonna be able to pay back for all the losses that he might incur to everyone, right? And basically, we still have to go back, pack it up, and go home. That's why I was trying to say what kind of
Vin doesn't have a problem doxing, to be honest, but.
I can imagine that SBF thought the exact same thing as he was sniffing some amphetamines off of some Brazilian bird's backside until he ended up in cuffs. And I bet you DK thought the same when he was playing hide and seek with Interpol. Yeah, you'll all think the same until you do it. We have you KYC'd, and then the pressure's on. No, you might not be able to pay the money back. We can bloody get you sent to jail. We can make your life a living hell. But
I'm 100 putting a KYP.
In which case, you shouldn't be worried because you're not going to do nothing.
A background check
so why should you have a problem with KYC?
I'm going to put one together. I'm going to put one together. Tabriz, you need to understand, right? What he is doing is making himself look exactly like the person he truly hides. Okay, he's just like this in his DMs. The community needs to know. Share this out, folks. Clip things. Show people what we're dealing with. This is not good.
Basically, we came down to this definition, and I'm super happy with it. And that's fine. When I ask this question and I try to discuss, it doesn't mean that I'm super guilty. I don't want it to. I couldn't care less. I have to do this all the time for my job anyway. So it's part of my life.
You're so analytical and you talk a lot sometimes, and people get it confused, I guess.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's who I am, I guess. I'm very...
A Twitter space is not a Twitter space unless Anne gets to speak.
We should let Anne speak.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to get to. Anne, go ahead.
Hello. How's everyone doing? I wanted to say something.
I imagine Anne is counting change out of her purse to pay someone at the till.
Superman?
Just a minute.
I have no clue if he's still working, if he's not working, where he is or whatever. But when he was there and Steve was saying, yeah, we have Superman and he don't want to be doxxed, and I appreciate that because of that and that and that and that. I think if you go to KYCing, or going to do a background check, you have to do it with everyone, not the investors, but people that are working on the L1 team, probably the validators as well.
Yes.
I don't think that the proposals can go that far. That they can only do layer one probably as far as that arm reaches.
How do we do with validators?
Until someone introduces a change that is more or less like a line of God code that can just remove coins from someone's wallet. So
yeah, well, it doesn't make sense to not do it with everyone instead of only a few one.
All right, Happy, dox yourself.
Yes, I'm with Anne on this one, fully 100%. And good luck for doxing TCB. No, but for example, that's a very fair point here. What happened with the validators, right? So they run your code, right? They run your blockchain, man. You know, I would be more worried about this, or I would be very worried about this, and not so much. For example, us, it's, to be honest, pretty much secondary because we don't have access to any money anyway. But still, I can understand like the need for consistency. L1, why not? But validators, what do we do with validators?
Yeah, for me it seems extremely logical because look what happened with Terra Vita. Well, the whole
Spill it,
story
Anne.
is not
Just spill
told
it.
yet, but from what, okay, I can't say anymore from what I've heard because that seems unreasonable. But from what I've seen, there was built a backdoor from one of the from one of the people inside of the job. So
Validators can't.
and the validators have. What would be more easy for a validator to run away with the money in a sensible way? And
validators don't have access to your money.
Well, they could if they get like up to a certain percentage. They could. Like you don't know, like if you don't know that they're all together and you think that you have like 30% of different validators where really you don't. Like, you know, it's kind of
Validators don't have access to any of the delegates' funds. It's impossible. It doesn't exist.
Not even in an attack. Not even
You're
in a
telling
civil attack.
porkies.
Not even in a civil attack in the network. If they gain like a consequent percentage of
What to introduce a godlike change to empty wallets? Yeah, that's something that you're proposing.
No, but I'm sorry, man. You're laughing about it, but this whole thing was made basically to prevent what we call like a 51%
God, don't,
attack
Tavish.
or
I
a
love
civil
her.
attack,
She's been about
which is
since
a
the
very
beginning.
much
I
big
think it's just
reality,
someone with a
unfortunately.
voice module.
Like you might laugh about it, and you might think that it's like who cares? But
No,
it's
of course
actually
not, Nate. That's absolutely silly. It's not written into the original document, so we shouldn't do it.
Validators can basically grow to a certain level. Of course, in this case, and don't get me wrong, because it's important for people to know, I think we have good validators and they're like they're genuine, etc. So don't freak out.
Yeah, but still we still have I forgot the one, not Elmida, but the big one, the biggest one. Allnodes, who still has, I think, like what about 28%? And I don't think they have bad intentions. So whatever.
That's right. Absolutely, Anne.
Well, if they're going to keep their heads together, and I know that's happening, some validators going together before voting on a proposal, and they vote together no, yes, or abstain. That's happening, obviously. So and I just wanted to mention validators, not that we are going to make a point out of KYC and validators, but I think if you can't draw a diagonal line, I think you have to draw a straight line, and then everyone who has an important function in the Lunar Classic community, if it's on an L1 team or a Quant team or a Terra Rebels team or whatever, I think they should be KYC'd to prevent what happened with Steve and Sorry, it's a little bit late, so my brain doesn't work. Was it not Finn but Frag? So yeah, I hope this is I hope I made my point clear.
Yeah, but Terraport funds were liquidated from the Terraport systems themselves, nothing to do with their validator. And you can 100% guarantee, as long as someone doesn't introduce a pseudo godlike blockchain in state to remove coins from wallets, that will never happen. But the second somebody does that, everything then becomes questionable because somebody's created a god line of code.
Do you do that?
Just my own opinion, by the way.
How do you do that?
I didn't hear that completely. Can you repeat that, please?
Unless somebody introduces a line of code to start emptying coins out of wallets, that will never happen. No one will ever be able to run away with delegates' funds. No validators can do that.
Yes, and how do you do that? How do you prevent that from happening?
I knew you was going to say that.
Absolutely,
well, we stop.
Right?
We stop you from introducing that line of code.
No. Who decides what code? I mean, who runs the code? The validators need to make consensus. So what decides what determines the code?
The validators and the community decide. Everybody knows that.
No. Like, who is running it? Not the community. They make a vote. That's not what I'm saying. Physically, who decides what code runs on the blockchain?
Validators.
All right. Okay. How many validators?
And it's 33% of the validating base. Gone over this loads of times.
Can I finish? Yes. Okay. So how do we guarantee without KYC that is not the same validator owning multiple validators? I'm being a bit like tricky, but like, this leading to that, and it's important.
You've just diverted away from the entire thing that I've said. You've gone onto something. You've gone back onto like KYC stuff. We're talking about the change that you want to introduce to the blockchain to delete USTC from wallets. That's what we're talking about, Fafi. Get back on topic.
Sorry, I didn't get that you were talking about that because Anne was talking about KYC. So back to the point of Anne, that's the point I was talking about basically. Sorry. So like, you cannot draw a diagonal line. And if you want to guarantee that no one is going to do anything bad, you should go like across the entire board.
Anne is just worried that a validator is going to be able to run away with all of the delegates' funds, right?
No, not. You must not put words in my mouth. I just said it in a line of people who are important for the chain, just like, and then I said the L1 team, the Quant team, the Terror Rebels team, and I said maybe the validators, because I don't know enough about that to make that point very clear. So you didn't listen to me very good.
Yeah, validators don't need to KYC.
You're a validator, HCC. Oh, all right. So I want to KYC myself, and I want validators to KYC, and I want to know who HCC is because he's running the code of my blockchain. That's very important to me. Well, nothing, man. That's extremely important to me.
You are very, very hilarious, Fafi. You're very hilarious.
I'm gonna put a proposal forward, and I want to know who this J is.
I'm not a developer. Hold up. I'm not a developer on this blockchain developing the most important aspect of it. You're asking a validator that is not required to dox by legal documentation provided by our blockchain. Get back on point, mate. Honestly, you cannot hold a conversation. It's absolutely hilarious. I have been streaming this whole thing. I cannot wait for people to see the real you, Fafi. You have proved everything that you are tonight. Thank you so much. I'm not angry. I'm really happy. I'm really happy.
You don't want to KYC? That's the kind of things you tell me, when
you're asking every validator to KYC, not just me, mate. Don't just target me. You're pathetic.
Oh my god, that has made me so happy.
I was joking when I did it, but hey, Fafi, hold on a second, guys.
Me too, yeah.
My second phone is about to die because I wasn't smart enough to charge it too.
He's like a kid.
So,
I'm not ugly, you're ugly.
my
I'm
other
not
one's dead, so I
KYC and you
have to wait
KYC.
until
No,
it's about
mate,
to die.
you're a
But
developer
Fappy, I
on the
sent
blockchain. You
my,
need to KYC.
a picture of my Discord. So if you can find me on there and follow me, we can have that conversation tonight if you're able. And
Sure.
then we'll knock that out, and then we'll get it scheduled, and then you guys will be on. And then anybody else on the team that wants to do it, just get us in touch with them, and we'll do the same thing. And then we can do roundtables and stuff like that.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Are you going to KYC as well, Jerry?
Let's KYC these
What?
validators. You know?
I will like. Well, I don't know. I will show my face to Faffy.
Awesome. I show you mine, and then we need to get
I'm
these
a good-looking
validators
guy.
to KYC. You know,
I'm a
it's
good-looking guy.
extremely
So
important.
you might be attracted to me.
Or you might be attracted to me.
Hey guys, do you think people in the Luna Classic community who hold spaces should be doxxed as well?
No, personally, it's only validators.
Mate, if you've got a cat,
Especially-
we want it doxed, all right? If you've got a chicken in the garden laying eggs, you better be doxing it, son, all right? If you're riding a pony to work, that better be doxed, mate. We need paperwork. Sorry, mate, no paperwork, no KYC, no horse.
Especially between 0 and 5% voting power, definitely like KYC, definitely big time. I'm gonna talk to Allnode right now. You know,
We better go talk to Luna. We better go talk to all of the other Cosmos validators. Man, we've got a lot of people to KYC in the Cosmos.
so chop, quick, get done to get your KYC done ASAP. We need that.
Coming from the guy who's supposed to be doing a repeg, but's just sat in here, just going around in circles. Mate, grow up.
You know what's crazy? I'm on the Luna Classic community.
Imagine no one stands up to these people. No one questions them. Everybody bows down to their aggressiveness. You know, I'm just not putting up with it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much doxxed already. So
See, HEC is very. I dox if you dox HEC. Fine, we do it tonight, right away.
Oh.
Contest. I'm happy to KYC right now and to dox right now, right here. Would you, HEC? We need transparency.
You sound, honestly, you sound like my son. You sound like my son in the car. We're driving somewhere. He's like, I'll jump in if you jump in, Dad. Dad, if you go first, I'll jump in straight after you. I promise. I promise, Dad. Mate, grow up. Go do some work. What are we paying you for? You're a dosser.
I cannot work because I'm not KYC'd, so we must KYC HEC. It's very
Well, you better get KYC'd quick. No doubt you need to put up a spend proposal for that as well.
Happy, I'm going to show myself real quick. NFT space on Friday, guys, if you are into NFTs. And we do have a podcast on Saturday coming up.
Oh, I've seen your sexy face, Jerry. I've seen your beard. I've seen you, baby.
Love everybody. Gotta go. It was fun. Even though
absolutely hilarious space. Honest to God, that has got to be the
back and
funniest
forth
thing ever.
All right. Take care, everyone.
I got a dip as well.
Take care, Jerry. Thank you so much.
I got to leave because sadly I've got to get prepared for my meetings tomorrow for work. I've got to finish this drawing and finished my drawing. I sound like a 5-year-old like Faffy now. They are architectural drawings, folks. They're not just doodles I'm making. Honestly, I swear to you, I don't need to KYC. God, why are you guys pressuring me? It's been productive. It's been productive because now you can all see what I'm dealing with behind the scenes. Oh, why have you blocked this person? That's why you have to block people like that, because they just don't stop. They don't stop. It's absolutely insane, right? He would just pick hairs, wouldn't he? He would just be like, oh, no, it's not a tomato, right? It's actually a vegetable, right? Is tomato a vegetable? Have I dug myself a hole here? You get what I'm saying, though. He was splitting hairs. He was deflecting. He was deterring. And as soon as we started mentioning KYC, he's like, oh, I'm not doing it. You do it. And then he's like, oh, all right, then. If you do it, I'll do it. Yeah, mate, grow up. Honestly, I've just been sat here developing like state-of-the-art drawings. Oh, my God, these guys. They can't keep up with themselves, right? And he talks so much. He doesn't absorb nothing. He doesn't take anything in. It's just listen, wait for the sound to stop his side, and then just talk about what the fuck he wants to talk about. It's insane. I'm so glad I jumped into that space when I did, and I put this live up when I did. I'll keep doing these whenever and wherever I can. I am doing a live stream today. I've only got a short day at work. I've got to go in, drop some drawings off, and then I'm back home. I'm going to be doing a live stream about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Feel free to join. We're going to be going over loads of different stuff. I'm going to go over a few of my proposals I've got prepared. And the likelihood is I'll have the KYC prop prepared also in that amount of time, which I think now is actually very crucial that we get this done. You can hear how it got his back up, very defensive. You know, he basically led himself into multiple traps over the past 3 hours almost of him just leading himself into traps, and then, oh, you're upset. Oh, don't get upset. Why are you shouting for? I'm over the moon with how you've behaved. You know, it's just so inappropriate. And it's the same again with Jason, whoever, you know, coming in, and it's all, everybody takes this stuff personally. Everybody takes this stuff. Oh, HCC's attacking me. Oh, it's really personal, you know. He criticizes what I'm doing. You know, mate, get over it. Get over it. You're supposed to be a quant team. How can we expect someone like him, right, to have conversation with Biden? And they're saying about the fire situation, Fireblock situation, and saying, oh yeah, we just spoke to Binance. You just went on your Binance app and spoke to a support bot, and that bot told you what all of the bots are going to tell everyone. Exactly the same as with the burning. When you guys asked Binance on spot, oh, are you burning? No, we're not burning. What happened months later? Oh yeah, we've been burning in the background, and we're going to continue to burn at the forefront of this. Oh, okay. The time for change is now. If you go back to the beginning of that, we were saying about more or less having a vision. I'm going to get a whole 12-month mandate together, as to which that mandate is going to be proposed. We'll get the community to agree to it. We'll make changes. We'll get all of the different validators that want to be involved. We'll get people like Jerry and people like that, and we'll get a mandate together as a community. And we will do this correctly. We will not take shortcuts. You know, this guy asked me, oh, why is your NFT project so successful, Jay? Oh, I don't know. You know, being honest, building for the blockchain, you know, doing the right thing, not filling your own pockets. It's not rocket science. Like, it's not rocket science. They do need to check their egos. A lot of people don't leave their egos at the door. It is what it is. You know, he's clearly against freedom of speech. If he had it his way, right, he would have the community simply just shut down my node, remove me, have YouTube delete me. People like this shouldn't have a playing field to create an uneven balance. As soon as we would mention like, oh, well, you know, he's talking about Steve being doxed and how bad it was. And then as soon as we say, well, you know, Bilbo's the admin on there, they left it up for 9 hours, then deleted it after it had its intended purpose. Oh, no, Bilbo's really good. He's really good. All right, then. Well, you know, let's get him on a podcast. Oh, no, he doesn't want to voice docs. Who doesn't want to voice docs? What the hell have we funded? Who have we funded? I just want to point out, I voted no for this. I voted no for this team for so many specific reasons. I think red lines being used and all of this, right, is just a nuclear option. They're saying about, oh, we're worried. And if you go back, you listen to what Anne says, she clearly says, I'm worried about, you know, validators and money. Validators should be KYC'd and doxed so they can't run off with the money. She 100% said that. And then she backpedaled to try and make me look like an idiot. Nah. Really happy with the way this has come out. Honestly, this has made my day. I'm going to be so happy. I'm not even going to get any sleep, right? I'm just going to literally continue working. Then I have to go and do my own job, then come back. And we're going to be going through everything to do with currently with Penguins, the Git book that's going up. There is a Git book being released at around 10 a.m. tomorrow for everybody. Guides, links, everything you need, everything that should be produced in a little document system for you, the community. What validators are building like this? What validators are committed to fighting the good fight, building their NFT project out, and, you know, not taking any funding and then not going, oh, well, you know, well, I'll do this if you lot fund me of about 150k. I need a Roomba. You're not, and I won't be putting up a proposal to get me funded. The funniest thing was when I approached someone about infrastructure, They thought that I wanted to be paid like Terra Rebels does. I said, no, I just want the infrastructure costs covered. They were shocked. They were utterly shocked. When you get that like kind of response out of people, you're like, what the hell are people's mindsets right now? Everybody is pillaging and plundering this blockchain. And those that are like fighting the good fight, right? They're kind of like how Jerry says, everybody just moans. No one proposes anything. Barely anybody supports anyone. And yeah, the infighting's not between, because if you roll back, right? Everybody knows there was a lot of infighting between influencers, loads of different. Do you see me and Classy arguing? No. Okay, it's not healthy, it's not productive. Do you see any of us projects bickering with each other? No, we've got each other's backs. We all support each other, you know. Like Jerry said, he asked to come on my podcast. I said no. Okay, that's fine, no problems. Didn't take it personal. You know, what am I going to do now? I'm going to offer the guy a podcast. So it's all just very interesting stuff. Folks, it is 2:05 a.m. here. We have been going for 3 hours, 12 minutes. I've spoken a lot. Faffy's spoken for about 1 million people. And I think you've heard more than enough. We've got 93 likes, 67 concurrent viewers. I cannot thank you all enough. I cannot appreciate you all enough for the support you continue to show me. Taking this more step back approach, more professionalized and more organized, and simply fighting the fight through governance. I don't want to do Twitter spaces like that, but ultimately, sometimes you've got to allow someone to dig their own hole and bury themselves in it. We got what we needed from that. We've seen what we needed to see. And now I hope that you will all go out and report on what you've seen. You know, it's not just me. I just put my opinion out at the end of the day. None of this is financial advice. Beware of scammers, doppelgangers, anybody pretending to be me or the Happy Catty Crypto channel. I want to throw a huge shout out to my main visual artist currently. All of the different visuals that you've all seen recently are because of this one person who has been part of our team, but you know, it's a hidden gem. Insane. Thanks to him, thanks to my mods, thanks to the community, thanks to my delegates. If you're not delegating with us, consider delegating with us. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. And I will catch you in the next one. This is my own opinion, and everybody better KYC. Your cats, I want to see your KYC for your cats, your squirrels, your everything. We're KYC and penguins from today onwards. It's done. Catch you in the next one, folks.